Going on, people? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. I see a thumbs up. Is that a thumbs up to of seeing or a thumbs up you can hear me? And one more question. What channel are y'all watching me on? All right, all right. I'm just testing out the system and stuff, so bear with me. It's been a while since I've been live. It got me shadowed so hard. Y'all hear this music playing? Trying to trying to find my own video. Share this link. Waiting on a minute now, y'all. So bear with young lady.
Good evening, Mr. Joe. What's good? Hi,
Oh,
everybody.
hear me?
All right, I see you. All right.
All
All
right.
right.
No,
I
just
see the shirt, Mr. Joe up there. I
yes. I'm
see you. That's what I'm talking about.
gonna let you
What
do
you,
your thing first while I'm.
no. I'm talking to you. I'm talking about how good you look. You look nice. All right. Let's get it.
I get.
Nice and crispy out here. What's up, family? How y'all doing? It's gonna be it's gonna be fun. Welcome everybody. First of all, gratitude, Joe, always that part for allow me to come up on this platform. It's been a minute. Okay, so the live we did the other day, they flagged it. They flagged the live down. What's up, family? I can't see anybody. I'm sending a link out to a couple of people.
Yeah,
You know, you still
send it
got
out.
the music on, right?
Yeah, I left it on.
Okay. Okay. The chat is speedballing. Okay, what's up? Hi, everybody. I gotta send a link out. Hold on. Hi, my London. I see you. Where my niece at, child? What's up, everybody? So the live we did the other day, they flagged it down. So tomorrow we're gonna go on stream at the 30. Is it the 33-minute mark, Joe?
33.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
33.
yeah.
Oh.
When I
Wait, you
stopped,
monetize? You monetize? Because I don't want to get you. Oh, okay.
I've never been monetized on YouTube.
Child, I was monetized that first Billy Fichette channel.
Yeah,
It was 20K on that page. Child. And
I'm,
they flagged it down.
when I
Um,
first went live, I got a super chat of $40, which I used and bought uh, a gift for one of the
mm,
people that was in the chat. They were having a baby, so I spent that $40 on a gift and sent it to them. And then that
yeah.
was the last time I ever got any money from YouTube.
Oh, I gotta send so many people this link. Hold
Yeah,
on to you.
sorry about that. I thought I told you. I thought I said
No,
um
not the link to the stream, the link to the video.
video. Right,
Yeah,
right. You
because you just went live and that you just kept it gangster. You just went live. You didn't schedule a live. That
yeah,
shit just popped up.
yeah,
Child.
yeah.
It
I,
just
I
popped up.
yeah, because
I
I
was like,
looked
I
at
wasn't
the
ready.
time.
I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't
Let me tell
ready.
you, look, my dyslexia kicked in, right? And so
uh,
uh, you said 7:30. I'm thinking my time is going to be 8:30, right? No,
right.
I'm like, oh, no, I'm an hour behind her, and so
Yeah.
that's why I
Because
just
I
went.
was outside. I just got back in. It was warm and then it got real cold. But yeah, salute to everybody in the chat. Gratitude to Mr. Joe. Mr. Joe's one of the most just good people, man. Uh Retired military, retired there's a 30-year police department. And he said, what did you tell me, Joe, about that? About
But
if you could do it all over? If you could do
yeah,
it
if I
all
could
over?
do it all over again, I would become a sheriff as opposed to a police.
Right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because sheriffs they enforce the law of the land,
That
and
part.
the police officers they enforce the law of water or maritime law or
Right.
corporate
Mm-hmm. They
corporate
wear
law,
blue.
corporations, right? And they wear blue, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't know that, and hell, I didn't know that until I started digging into this. That
Right.
majority of the police officers that wear blue is basically a corporate police officer. That's
Right. They are a policy enforcement
yeah,
debt collector. They're a debt collector.
yep, yep,
They bring the people who have the corporation. If you got a warrant or outstanding tickets, something like that, all they do is bring arrest you in quotation marks, which 9 times out of the 10 is illegal, which is kidnapping, and they bring you to the precinct to be processed. That's all police do. Once you go in and be processed, a lot of people don't notice when you be processed and they get ready to take you to either Rikers Island or Queen's House, the bookings or something like that. It'd be the sheriff that's transporting you. That part. Sheriff's transport you, right, Joe?
yeah, yeah. You're 100%
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm. So it's been a long journey. Yeah, they flagged that live the other day.
They
Yeah.
doing the
And,
most.
and and it wasn't YouTube or nothing, but that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, they flagged it, but it still was popping. So all I did was, just upload it to the Batcave. because you know so many people have hit me up about Mr. Joe. Y'all said Mr. Joe handsome and whatnot, and he is. But you hit us up about this. People were saying the dynamic duo. They were saying that it was so reminiscent of 2020, 2021.
Yes.
Now 2021, we was on their ass.
Oh yeah.
In 2021, we was on their ass. We did the the live regarding the treasury the treasure hunt. Me and Mr. Joe popped that. We popped that treasury hunt.
You know what? I think after that point, it was over for us.
There's like shut up over there, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after that, it
right. The treasury hunt with the receipts. We had it right there in that receipt.
Yeah, yeah.
The treasury hunt, and Donald Trump been leaving you clues the whole entire time.
Oh man,
that video, the video I sent you. You know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
The one where it got the numeric, the phone. I mean the numeric where it says that I am Q.
See that. Hold on, give me a second.
Take your time.
Let me pull that
let me go to the chat. I'm busy sending this link out that I don't see the chat. Hi, y'all. Let me see who in. Okay. Carletta, peace. I know there's a lot of people. Big sister, Ela. Hi, Honeybee. Maverick. Hi, Hilnora. Mr. Watkins, peace. My London.
What is the 9th letter of?
Okay, hold on. Let me.
Honeybee, I love you. Where's Mama Eagle Eye at? Ciao. Halcyon. Let me send this link to Mama Eagle Eye. Ciao.
Yeah, send it out. We'll wait before we start all this other stuff. While you're doing that, let me
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kind of sharing.
Who else in here? That shit. Oh, I sent it to Big Bro too. I hope he can pull up. Hi Adam. Tahisha, hi Sweetness. Bayesian one. That's your friend. Hi though. Hi, Bayesian one. Mr. Hooper, what's up, King? Who else in here? Pearl Steven. Peace and welcome. Miss Palmer. Who else in here? This chat is moving. Oh, Mama. So I don't see you, Mama. Where's my mama at? God, what's up, man? Who else in here? Flower Boom. Peace.
Let me hook you up a little bit of
Mrs. J, what's going on, Queen? Lady Turtle Dove, hello. Mr. Watkins, what's going on? Shay, what's up, Shay? Here go my mama. Who else in here? Naima, Bouquet. Miss Margot, hi. What's going on? So yeah, Mr. Joe is fixing some things, but
yeah, I'm ready to go when you ready. You want to hear that?
All right, you want to start. Okay, there's two. Oh, I forgot. Oh, the other thing with the birth certificate, we gotta pop that. Shout
Yeah,
we gotta pop that.
10 years.
Right, go ahead,
years. Now, what is the 9th letter of the alphabet? I. What is the 13th letter of the alphabet? M. And what is the 17th letter of the alphabet? Q. Q.
What was he referencing? Okay, Donald Trump was referencing what? Amendments, right? That part.
Yeah, I'll replay it.
Yeah, but it got choppy at the end.
The alphabet. I. What is the 13th letter of the alphabet? M. And what is the 17th letter of
the 17th letter alphabet is Q.
Q. Is that when we hang it up in 5 years or 9 years or 13 years?
9 years, chop. Or 17 years, right?
17 years.
Ah! He popped it. Big bro in the bushes, though. Yeah, salute to my big bro, Red Man. He in the bushes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Red, what's up now?
That part. He in the bushes.
Oh, yeah.
But
okay.
Regarding regarding this quantum, let's get straight to the QFS, because it's so much child. The Nasara and Jasara. Now we didn't did these bills regarding the origins of the Nasara, and then Jasara circled back. But in this country, the Nasara's origins is regarding the farmers. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's the
Right.
origin. That's how it
The
all
origin of it, right? Regarding your mortgages and things
goes
like
back
that.
to the Saint Germain stuff.
Right. The Saint Germain Trust.
Right.
There's all these trusts out here.
It would have remained hidden if it wasn't for the farmers.
Right. So they made the knowledge born about it because they was like something just rotten in Denmark regarding these houses and just payments, etc. To get to the gist of it, before 1871, this country wasn't what it is, has been returned to it, which is a republic. Am I correct?
Yep.
I'm gonna keep bothering you. Just ask you that.
No, you're right. I'm just saying.
Is it correct? Right. So 1776, this country, 1871, this country was a republic. We the people, by the people, for the people. 1871 is when this country became a business. Period. It been a business up until it has been defunct, bankrupt, turned inside out by Donald Trump. Okay, because two people prior to Donald Trump tried to get rid of the Federal Reserve: John Fitzgerald Kennedy and Abraham Lincoln. Ironic how they're related, right? That part. So, regarding this country being a corporation or a LLC, LLC is what limits liability. This is the most diabolical sugar honey iced tea that I've ever come across regarding this corporation and what they've done to the people. Okay? We are all commodities to them, items, a package. Okay? But because of this initiative regarding Donald Trump, absolving the Federal Reserve, the Treasury, all that, the IRS, all that is up. The IRS, they didn't got shoveled onto a boat and sent into the middle of the water. The World Bank, all of this dead and stinking. The credit bureaus dismantled. So anywhere they still trying to run your credit, they committing fraud like a motherfucker, period. Okay? Your social security number it was supposed to be your prized possession. You were never supposed to give it to anybody. Not even on an application or paper. So the long con came in with the paperwork, these applications. We're gonna run your credit. Let's see if you qualify. We all are qualified because we are the creditors. We are the trust fund babies. Right now, they had something about Janet Yellen the other day. You seen that? Child. Joe? Janet Yellen the other day.
Janet is supposed to be stepping down, right?
Right, that part.
Mm-hmm.
We popped her in 2021, 2022, and 2023.
Well, the optics of it. This is the optics of her stepping down. Really.
Remember that bill that I did with the receipts from the Treasury and all that money from each department was a little bit. It added up to like a couple of trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
And it was going. The only people that can make them type of moves is the Secretary of the Treasury and Congress. They've been stealing since the beginning of stealing.
Especially when the guy he hired that's going to handle the tariffs and stuff like that. He told a story about before we stopped using tariffs, we had so much money they had to find something to do with it, which is
right.
It's stupid to me, but they're trying to get back to that point. But before they got rid of tariffs, before they got rid of the gold in 1921,
right,
States was the place to be.
Right, and they did that real slick. It was the land of milk and honey and the tree because everybody was out here prospering. You know what I'm saying? But the same way that your name in all caps is the straw man, that is that's legal fiction. It's a fake entity. It's a corporation. It's not a living, breathing, natural person. Right. So the name your parents gave you, that birth certificate, it's proof that a package came in across the waters. the birth canal, all of that. That's all admiralty talking. Okay. The birth certificate, they issued you a certificate of live birth, proof that this package came up in there unharmed. But they also took a life insurance policy out on you, right?
Yes.
The birth certificate is the certificate of live birth. It's just a document of time and all that carrying on. Then they started issuing the long forms with the footprint on it and the seal and the registrar name. But on the certificate of live birth, depending on how old you are, the bond of the bank that issued it is on it. These certificates of the long forms. So you during your process told you get your long forms, but then I told y'all, wait a minute, you need to get your certificate of live birth and your long form authenticated on state and federal levels. But a lot of people are saying certain states, this country, continent, North America, which is Mexico, not the Republic, and Mexico, each of these countries, each of these what they call states, they actually countries, like over in Africa. Each of these states have their own constitution. So a lot of people that in different states that were not part of that 13 colony carrying on Commonwealth, they children got a certificate of live birth. These states that were corporate, them 13 colonies, them commonwealths, they tell you that you can't get it, or they don't know what that is, or you can't get it. What you mean you can't get it? Come to find out that everybody got if you was born here, you got in a hospital, you got a certificate of live birth, and that's what they monetize. Crazy work. We didn't pop the GMEI, them selling your social securities out and bonds out on your social security number. Right, this man right here, this beautiful man right here. We popped that. They took the video down in an hour. We popped that to where all that traffic was calling up there on Treasury Direct Joe, right? To where they told y'all it was a scam, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But in all actuality, they told you it was a scam. You had the right to call up there. Didn't you call up there? The lady told you. You said, I don't have the bond physically. She said, well, give me you can locate it with your social security number, correct?
Right. And that's what she said. You had a bond number, that's fine. Give me your social security number.
Right.
And she asked me, do I have anything physical, anything telling that I have a bond there? And
right.
I ran some stuff down to her, and they said, well, no, it's probably a scam and all of this. And then what it took about 15, 20 days. After that, it was done.
But no, the reason why I popped that, the reason why they was telling everybody that, because they was being audited. That part. The IRS was being audited.
Right.
They was being audited. Right.
And they were going to change the process as well. So
they was being audited.
Yeah.
And they couldn't tell that they was being audited. They were sending out letters from the fake IRS. I remember I was like, yo, we finally narrowed it down that IRS outside of PR, because that's headquarters. The IRS is over in Puerto Rico headquarters. But over here, it's either Kansas City, Missouri, or Austin, Texas. So if you was getting letters from any place else, they was trying to con you and scare you. Talking about pay this, or we gonna garnish this and that. Child. Then we pop with that. I forgot that lady's name. The lady that said, yo, I'll give $50,000 of my money if anybody can produce at the IRS a law that said we got to pay taxes. Nobody had nothing. They couldn't produce it. You find out now about the IRS later, pop that on a website. It says that which is social security. No, not social security number. Oh, it says on the IRS website that taxes is on a voluntary basis. I was having this conversation earlier today with somebody when I went food shopping. He was ear hustling me on the phone talking to somebody. Like, yeah, okay. But he was like, no, we have to pay taxes. I said, you don't gotta pay. I said, what the hell? Like, first of all, you ear hustling. But no, taxes is voluntary. It's all about, here's the thing, all this shit, is about getting your social security number access to it. When you go to buy a car or a house, but let's talk about car, right? You go to buy a car at a car dealership. They say, bring proof of income, your address, you need a bill and all that carrying on. But they don't factor in your income. They give you an application, you put your social on there, you fill you even though you got your pay stubs and all that, you still feel a little income and all that. They say, all right, wait right here. All right. They go in the back. Why are you at the car dealership for 10 hours? Do you know why you at the car dealership? How many people put a thumb in the chat when you went to go buy a car, you was there all day and there's nobody in there because there's one person working with you, right? It's not like they're going from person to person to person to person, helping everybody. Nah, it's one person with you. Why does it take 8 to 10 hours to get a car? It's because they back in the back while you sitting there, they filling out what is called a 1099A. And with your, while you putting your, they give you the application first. You put your social on there. They run your credit. The only reason why they run your credit is because every time they run your credit, whatever the amount you running it for is getting charged off out your trust. Where Nuo at? It's getting charged off your trust. So they come back and tell you that you denied. How are you denied? Now we know and ask these questions now. But first of all, what credit, what collateral I got you running it against? And two, what credit? Like, what's that? So they go back there, they fill out that 1099A, they fax it over to the treasury or however they do it, and then they jack up the price. So if it's $100,000 for your car, fully loaded, whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? They put in another 50 or 60K on it. And then they fill out that 1099A, they send it to the treasury. The treasury does not question it because you're social on there. They assume you know about the transaction. You don't. Then the whole amount is taken out of your trust. They break bread with the manufacturer. They break bread with the car dealership. They turn around and tell you you got to put a down payment, which is illegal as FUCK. And then your car note. That's how these car dealerships stay in business, from your car note. But no, you're never supposed to be denied credit. The fact they penalize for running your credit. Anytime they run your credit, whatever the amount is taken out because it's it's mad credits in your Sestiki trust. They are the trustees. You have to remove them as the trustees and appoint yourself as the trustee of your trust or someone else. But yeah, it's been a long con, child. The GMEI, we popped that, sent all that traffic to that global website to where they shut it down and said it's under construction. What you playing, Joe?
Just getting it ready.
But yeah, they double dip in.
Yeah, make it feel like a little news brief.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. If you look at your long form birth certificate, where it say on your long form, not your original birth certificate, your certificate of live birth, because the certificate of live birth is the proof of the child. It's still a live birth. That's that when they monetize and they collecting all that interest off you because you're still alive, because that's what initially is attached to the live de jour baby. That long form is it is a birth certificate and a death certificate in the same breath. Now, if you go look at, if you have copies of your certificate of live birth in your long form, the certificate of live birth is just regular. That long form got your mother, where it say mother name, it got informant on it. That part, it got informant on there. Remember, Mr. Joe, didn't we pop with the social security card, with the contract on there, with the zooming in with the that part? Yeah, we popped a lot of stuff. We popped a lot of your social security card is a contract. And if you zoom in on it with a magnifying glass, you see all the little words on there. Once that social security card is signed, it's binded to that birth certificate and is given the social security that the authority administration to be your trustee. Now I get it. Because I'm like, and here's the thing, until you get them before Donald Trump, you would have to go through the sovereign process. Because we at our big ages and they still acting like they our trustee. So like say a child gets this, someone's appointed as the trustee of a trust, say a grandparent leaves a whole bunch of money to their grandchild. Or they can't touch it till they will come into it if they graduate at 21. but you could appoint a trustee to manage the trust. So yeah, the child asking for all these things, and then the child says, "Oh, I want a pair of $500 sneakers," and then your grandmother or whoever's the trustee says, "Nah, I'm not getting that for you." That's what this is when they run your credit. But here's the thing: the gotcha is when they run your credit, it's unlimited credit in there. It's paid for. All your bills are prepaid. Everybody be so tied into technology, it pisses me off. It's the dumbest thing to take your wrist and put it on a counter to pay for something. Is weird. But all that auto pay and the auto enrollment and all that carrying on to get you to give up them coupons that come in, the bills that come. Your bill is for you to endorse. You were supposed to endorse it, send it to the Treasury, right? And allow that, and then they will credit it back into your TDA account. Don't play with me over here. So yeah, you have the NESARA GESARA, which is the returning of the it's humanitarian, it's a global initiative, peace efforts. People, these countries is getting back to their own sovereignty. Because after doing all this research, you find out that this country, all the weirdo carrying on was here. All over the world, they call themselves, the majority of the rest of the world, they call their inhabitants or their residents nationals. It's only over here that the deep state, they had all the privileges. They were sorry. It wasn't sovereign to the Republic. They were sovereign to Queen Elizabeth and Crown Corporation over the United Kingdom. Sovereign, the ideology simply means born free. That's what sovereign means. He was born free to this plane, North America, if he was born in this country. He was born free to whatever plane on this plane, on Gaia. But the deep state, they start putting claim on things. It should be no way. It should be no people sleeping on the sidewalks and all that carrying on. It's just sad. But this, not going left, but going a little bit left. This planet is terraformed. It's a prison planet. And that goes into something majestic we'll talk about another time. So what you want to show first so we can pop, Joe? Ciao.
All right, we can go back to the first breaking news.
We'll talk about that dinar too. Ciao.
Okay.
Because that receipt you sent me, Source sent it to me 5 minutes before you did.
Yeah, it's out there. It's more receipts. I got more. I didn't send all of them.
Child, I said they did. She did something. She did something. All right, Mr. Joe, can we play something?
All right.
Wait, when did that come out?
This came out yesterday.
But see, wait a minute.
Yeah. This was
Look at the at the bottom. The bottom don't match with the top. The judge agrees to dismiss Donald Trump's 2020 election interference case. Oh, the case that Jack Smith had against Trump. Okay, I'm bugging. I'm sorry. I thought he was talking about they dismissed Donald Trump's because Donald Trump put a lawsuit in before anybody did. That part.
Yeah, he dropped the lawsuit on him. But yeah, yesterday they did this. And they say once Trump is out of office, they can bring it back. But
no, they can't.
Can't bring it back.
Yeah.
Limitations will be out. Plus, these people will be gone to November by that time.
Not only that, this is a republic. They delusional. There's no more. Again, in this admiralty law, and y'all going into court, people going into court and all that. That's why a lot of people since 2020 have been, released from prison on the low.
Yeah,
because they were imprisoned unconstitutionally. If you shot somebody, you murdered somebody, raped, things like that, you ain't getting out of jail. You violate somebody due process by doing anything physically to somebody. But when you're dealing with these people getting released, unconstitutional law, and you cannot charge somebody that's sovereign. You cannot. You're not going into court for breaking laws, lady. You have never been to court for breaking a law, except for murder. that's that's a violation. Somebody got due process. You're killing them. But other than that, all this other stuff, you are just going into court and you're getting charged and fined for violating a policy, a statute, a penal code. That's all. You get lined up when you walk into them courts. You walking into the jurisdiction of the water.
Yeah.
Ow.
And another thing that you brought up the other day, what military is actually covering all of this stuff that's going on?
The Navy.
The Navy. And why is that?
Because they are the Lord, they are the overbearers of the water.
They honor the law of the water. Yeah.
Right.
And
that's why them tribunals is at. That's why the tribunals is being held by them Navy generals over there.
Yeah.
Them admirals and generals, right? So you're dealing with a system. Again, this is a system to where it is unnatural. Like, it's very diabolical. For me, it's too diabolical. All the loops and all that, the wordplay, you know what I'm saying? Oh, child, it's just crazy. But Donald Trump has been versing you in all of these clues and versing you in the Constitution. You know, the fact that these amendments, these markers, I'm telling you, it's one of the greatest movies ever. You know what I'm saying? But it also has shown that we come from, again, civilization of intelligence. But if you allow something else or someone else, or now they letting software, which is these apps, dictate what they see and believe. Child, I know for a fact the veil been lifted off of me. Everything I see on Instagram, on Instagram, 97% of it is CGI, because we can see it now. Like, you can see it. You can see it. It's coming out in like 3D, like you got on some 3D glasses. Like, child, you don't get that $2 sugar honey iced tea out of here. But you're dealing with things, a social construct, racism, and all that carrying on, and then with just economically, money that's another social construct. It's something that is not of this. It's not born to this plane or born to this land. It's something that was created. You know what I'm saying? And it's conceptual, meaning it's always changing. And anything with a concept, the majority of those who embrace the concept, they're the ones that control the concept. So you dealing with, to where it's so unnatural, to where you got the mind state that your inhabitants are cattle, a package. You know what I'm saying? Everybody lined up in this corporation. It ain't got nothing to do with race. The fact that people don't know nothing about race and ethnicity and nationality is crazy to me as well. But with that the BRICS initiative, we decoded that. Mr. Joe is so awesome with that. The BRICS initiative, remember when I first put up the receipt with the announcement from the South African president, and then they hit the video and it had, that's when I popped that they changing their names. All these countries are going to a republic or a kingdom. Remember? The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Republic of Vietnam, the Republic of Thailand, the Republic of Iraq, all of that. So, and we going back to a constitutional republic. But all those countries he listed, regarding the BRICS. Remember, if Donald Trump went on that world tour, he went to the NSA first. But he went on that world tour, and all these countries was getting popped for their trafficking. But Donald Trump, under that Jasara Nassara, no more war. He got countries again that was beefing that you ain't even know existed, let alone be beefing, to stop beefing. Look, I don't care how long it take y'all. I ain't going nowhere till y'all squash this. Or both of y'all can't get no money out here. Donald Trump ain't playing.
In the foreign country, they brought up the Abraham Accords again. So they finna go back under that.
Right. So, that you can't get no money out here. That Michael and I, child, he on the plate next. All these presidents before Trump, they had the opportunity and then some to dead war, dead any type of beef in the Middle East or any of that. But why would Barack Obama, aka Little Hitler, do that? because he hated this country. He was the wolf in sheep clothing. Y'all, everybody, I wasn't buying it. I haven't never voted until this year. I've never voted because I knew what it was. But all the people, they was duped. It was so crazy. So duped. I was like, I ain't buying it. Where he come from? Who sent you? Like, he just came out of nowhere. And I was right. He came out of nowhere because Harry Lennox Jr. coached him and all that. But you find out that he was an op. That's Hitler's biological grandson. I popped that Michelle Obama. That's a man to where YouTube took the video down and hit me with some old weird email, Joe. Something I don't even know what that was.
You brought up Barry.
But then I recently popped it where she changed the request to change the sex on their voter registration paperwork from male to female in July of 2008, right before the election in November. That part.
Since you brought up Barry.
Oh yeah, let's get to this. I'm on mute.
I saw some video online that said Obama's birth certificate is fake, and it's on the WhiteHouse.gov. Apparently, you can download it, and so I did. I'm a professional designer, guys. I'm a professional designer. If you look behind me, look 3D printers and like wave format printers, all this stuff. Okay, like I do this all the time. Like I've done photo editings. This is insane. I am like shook at the intensity. I got to show you this. So here we go. We're on. I just type in Obama certificate. Here, I'll just type it in, enter. Here you go. Obama certificate, long form PDF. This says the White House or the Obama White House archives.gov. This is the official .gov website. Okay. This is Obama's birth certificate, supposedly. But what I'm about to show you is going to blow your mind. Like I'm downloading it right now. We're downloading it. Let's bring it up in the files. I've done this a few times now at this point because I'm like, I can't even believe this is real. So, and let's open this up in Illustrator. Okay. In Illustrator. And I'm like thinking, okay, well, that's, it could be legit, except for, wait a second, there's bounding boxes on here. So you can delete the bounding boxes in Illustrator. And if you delete them, you can move the entire background document off of the page. And you can literally separate it. And you can see that this is the original document with the original text on it. That this has been completely photo edited. And they put this ghosting effect on here. And this is like, I can't even believe this. And even the background's been edited because this pattern just repeats like it was on the page, but it like curls around. I don't know what that's about. That's weird. But all of this is separated. These are separate window boxes. This is from the White House's website. Look, I literally just downloaded this. And look, it's like crazier than that. Look, the entire document has separation components. Like their date stamps are two tonal different colors. Like they can be moved separate. Like I'm just blown away. I'm blown away at how terrible of a Photoshop job this is. There is like
Meanwhile, in 2021, I told y'all it was fake. I told you them Columbia transcripts of his was fake. When I found out that was Hitler's grandson, period. He a CIA asset. That whole Sotoro from Indonesia, all that was BS. Even the Kenya narrative is BS. Bottom line is, excuse me, you don't know who he is except for all that other stuff is filters, white noise. All you know is that biologically with the bloodline receipts, he Hitler's grandson, right? But also, he was walking around with a dead man's social security number since 1978. Remember, I popped that. His grandmother worked at down there at Social Security Department, right? The dead man was from Connecticut. He moved to Hawaii and he died. But being that he wasn't on benefits, he wasn't getting no SSI or Social Security, The grandmother swiping the Social Security card and gave it to her grandson. That part. Okay? So yeah, he popped that. Meanwhile, they faked the birth certificate, right? But why they kill that lady in the helicopter? The one that so-called they killed her. Remember?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find that.
Let's go.
I'm
That
looking
part,
for
Joe.
it.
Let's go.
I'm
Receipts.
looking for it. Yeah,
We got receipts. Let's go. They
Yeah,
killed that lady.
keep on going.
They killed that lady. Right.
Trying to find it.
Only thing Barack Obama did for anybody is legalize homosexual marriage because he was a homosexual. That part. Michelle Obama was a man. I've been saying that, to where they took the video down when I had the receipts, and I still got them. You know what I'm saying? So that whole Jussie Smollett hoax cakes, that child, they related and all that carrying on. Like I said, these Jaguar rights and the rest of them, they ops. They are controlled. Candace Owens is an op. She married to a Rothschild. But all Barack Obama did, excuse me, I'm bugging. All he did was the homosexual legalized gay marriage, and he created Obamacare. He created Obamacare under this universal BS about, low health care, when all it was a front for what? Child trafficking. I'll pop that too. Salute to David Straight. David Straight popped it. Anybody in this chat, if you a medical biller, you a trafficker. I'm telling you that right now. Obamacare is a front for child trafficking. David Straight in that video. Child, I wish I could show it. That video. Child. I popped that.
He's faster than me when it comes to finding those videos. Man, I can't find this thing.
Because I be having them, in the StreamYard, I be already having them, they be already lined up. Because, the receipts is the overlay. When you go to the video clips, all it shows are your videos. When you go to the overlay, it shows your pictures. But when you go to the video clips, it's all your videos, just all that's there. And I be popping them because I told you in my head, I have the month and the date. Not so much the date, but around the day I can find it. It's just, I don't know, I'm just programmed that way. But yeah, he was the wolf in sheep clothing. He was Muslim Brotherhood. They brought in a man of color to take this country down. Him and Hillary Clinton had that was it 8-year plan, 16-year plan, 8-year plan, 4 and 4? But no, I think it was 16 years.
It's a 16-year plan.
Right, yeah. His 2 terms and then her following behind him was 16 years. If it wasn't for Donald J. Trump, you be in a FEMA camp somewhere. Your kids would have been snatched up, dead ass. We be out there in the middle of a square like they is in China with the same outfit on, listening to instructions on the board. Right. Listen, we be in the middle of the square, listening to instructions on the bullhorn, telling you to stay 6 feet apart from each other. That's what would have happened. Because they always communists, child.
I wish I thought about that video. I would have had it pulled up.
Which one?
No, the plane crash.
Child, that lady. Now we talk about Hillary. Hillary Clinton kill list with over 100 bodies. I think Michael and I got more, but I think they got more for the children that they killed. That part right there. Hillary Clinton was taking out everybody on ground. Michael and I was killing them babies underground. That part. And yes, I said it. I'll say it on the bullhorn, jumbotron. I'll put it in a message in a bottle. I don't care. These ops out here and these distractions. You haven't heard not one peep of child trafficking on the news. Not one on what you say is the news. Somebody sent me a video of some corny, some more well-dressed number 2 pencil melanated dude on a live, on the news, talking about child trafficking and how it don't exist and all this carrying on, huh? Are you okay over there? Are you okay, sir? But yeah, these people, all those Project Mockingbird or Operation Mockingbird, when they labeling the mainstream media and calling it an operation, understand that those involved in that operation, they assets. So all those news anchors and all that, Joe, what are they? assets.
Assets.
That part. Child, out in Hollywood. Hollywood is the name. Code name is Operation Hollywood. It's a CI Black Op. They run all those skin masks out of there, right? With the front for child trafficking as an entertainment, right? If you ever been to the Met Gala, I know you're a pedophile and satanic person. All these rituals and stuff. Child, it's pathetic. Them indictment says is at 800,000 right now. 800,000. And the little bit of 400 people we see on that Gitmo list, trust and believe, the list of those who matter because they was pedophiles, but they not even making that knowledge born. They just killing them. They just killing them. The military doesn't care if you believe them or not. They want you to. They want you to go and do the research. They got a job to do. And here's the thing. I was just researching it the day before yesterday into an old link that I had from 2020 about the dumbs. It was part of that when that werewolf, they found that werewolf down there in Venezuela. They were saying it was fake, right? But yo, and remember they had the kite that said the Chinese was underground up there in Maine and they was warring in Maine. Up underground. They said it was 30,000 troops underground shooting it out in Maine. That part. So I came across that old link. They was down there warring. I'm like, yo, when I think of underground, I think it's like you go far as like maybe the subway tunnels. I can't see it going any further. I can't see 70-foot skyscrapers underground, but I actually have the proof that it exists. Me and Rec popped that. They have everything underground in these dumbs, these speed tunnels, monorails that go from the East Coast to the West Coast in like 20 minutes type of stuff, like the bullet train in Japan. They got all of that. The only thing they don't have underground is the natural sunlight and oxygen. Oxygen. Hence why those babies was dying when they was bringing them to the surface. Hence the ventilators saved them. Again, 250,000. Them countries that Donald Trump listed, what was the first country he said? Italy, France, Spain. He said, 250,000 ventilators they sent over there. They were saving those children over there. Over here, they use a ventilator to kill your family and told you that the fake flu did it, right?
Okay, this one here is from the news channel. They cut it because you can't really see.
The helicopter blowing up?
No, this is the plane that went down. Now,
the plane with the lady, the birth certificate lady in it.
Birth certificate lady. Now, this is the plane. Well, they cut this video, but further up in this area right here, if you go farther in there, you'll see her floating there, and then you'll see a guy in a black scuba suit come and grab her and pull her under. But I don't think they're going to show it on this video.
Child.
See that? You see how they cut it?
Right. Edit to copy paste. Child. Deep fake.
They cut it. They cut the video, but in the video, I have it. I'm going to be looking for it continuously as the show goes.
Right.
But,
child, they'll say that look $2, child. It looked $2.
Yeah.
It looked $2, Joe. Child. But wait. I wish I sent that receipt. Now, remember back in 2021, I popped, that's when I was popping 9/11, I popped that Scud missile that hit the Pentagon. Well, I got the receipt and I posted it not too long ago. Yo, they actually painted that Scud missile and added little wings to make it look like it had American Airlines on it to make it look like a plane, child.
Airplane, yeah.
Crazy work. Crazy work. Yeah, they've been carrying on. They've been carrying on. But this is the Great Awakening. It's an economic awakening regarding the foreign currency. Back in 2020, I told y'all before I even got put on about the foreign currency. 2020 is when I was handling. But I made Knowledge Born in 2020, in May of 2020, when Donald Trump came up there and said that the gold standard was returning in October, and that the gold went up 2,000 points on the stock market. Amina Nicole purchased the gold ounce bar. It was $540. A gold ounce bar now, Joe, is $2,700. Sure. It's $2,700. Then Mr. Joe circled back with the foreign. He put me on foreign currency. We came live. We was building about it. The bonds. We was popping everything. The treasury hunt and all that. So you have 5 years to invest in foreign currency and gold, because that's what it's returning to. Because in 1921, like Mr. Joe said, what else happened in 1921? In 1921, they swapped out the gold and silver certificates for a Federal Reserve note. That part. Empty fiat.
First year of the process started around 1913, but 21 when they took
When
the
the
gold,
Federal Reserve came to be.
they put the Federal Reserve online.
Right. Mm-hmm. So you're dealing with something. This is what's going on. You're dealing with something. The bank. I mean, the corporation being bankrupt, systematic being broken, the matrix being shattered, and that's the small part of it. What's going on also is the dismantling of the old guard, that old satanic ass shit, and that's been in play for millennia. Okay. After Jesus came, no, matter of fact, after Jesus came, because I've been doing some research on, in all of those alien movies, it ties into Jesus Christ, the engineers, and who created us.
Yeah.
And they sent Jesus here to teach and help evolve and spiritually teach the people. And what happened? To show love and all that. And what did the humans do? They killed them. They crucified him. Hence, the engineers created that xenomorph, the alien, and they was gonna bomb the shit out of here with that. You gotta watch Alien, you gotta watch Prometheus.
Yes, yeah.
Alien Prometheus, then Alien Covenant, which I don't even know why they made that, but yeah, they made that. Then you watch Alien with Sigourney Weaver. It's kind of like a Star Wars prequel. You watch Alien with Sigourney Weaver, and then after Alien is the new joint, Alien Romulus. That comes in between Alien and Aliens. Child, it's lit, but it's also creepy. They keep calling that alien the perfect organism. What's perfect about it? It kill everything. What's perfect about it? It kill everything. So yeah. But anyway, back to what I was saying. These ops, CIA, you have this corporation, all of these things with labels, the music industry, the sports industry. You know what I'm saying? All these things with industry, so you already know what it is. The music industry is tied to the corporation. The CIA infiltrated hip-hop in the 1980s. That part. Because I am a child of hip-hop, period. If you know me, you know that. You know my playlist is bananas. But all of it's part of a corporation. They didn't allow hip-hop to thrive on its own. Music is a universal healer to where now you found out they been messing with the frequency. If music and frequency don't heal and cure shit, why they messing with it? Okay, that part. But all this industry stuff, these are subdivisions in brackets of the big corporation. You're an employee, okay? So yeah, you don't get to a certain level over there in that little club. It's so much death coming out of that space. It's no coincidence. So much death out of Hollywood, child. In that little square mileage, just like in DC, it's a little square mileage, and all that power in those square miles. How the hell you in office for 40 years and you ain't did nothing, but still? Maxine Waters, you was in office for 60 decades. You ain't buy a new wig. Right. But then you living in that area in San Francisco, and not but 3, 4, 5 minutes from your house is people sleeping on a sidewalk. It's just crazy to me, yo. There's no human inhumanity anymore. Now, I asked somebody, you got the queued up? What you gonna share?
Yeah, I got this.
All right,
one.
guys, let's go.
We do the Michael Baxter thing.
Ciao. Wait, I gotta pull that.
Yeah, got this one queued up.
Okay. Now, this is the bombshell. Ciao. This is everything that we've been saying. Me and have been saying since we've been saying since 2020. All right? They just put it in military, not amina terms in delivery. So it says, we are, and let me, it's too small. As I got older, I can't see nothing. Hold on, yeah. I can't see anything. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Okay, there you go. Doing it like Emmerich used to do it. We are in the midst of the most significant military operation in history. Amina Nicole been telling you since she found out it's a military op, and it's a military op. COVID-19 was a military op. And I used to tell people, used to come in, so remember people come into the chat, Mr. Joe talking about they got COVID, and I said, you a pedophile? You say you, don't say that in my chat. Saying you got COVID-19 is saying you are a pedophile, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You had a cold or the flu. That's all you had.
Right.
Or pneumonia. You could have had a walking pneumonia too.
Right. We are in the midst of the most significant military operation in history, and it's about to reach a critical point. Since March of 2020, it's no coincidence that it says March of 2020, and the very first time y'all ever came across me was on March 19th of 2020 on MREC TV. That part. The United States has been under the control of a federalized National Guard. So the military, March of 2020 was before November 2020, before the Insurrection Act was invoked. So they've been around since before the Insurrection Act was invoked. But that just connects to, remember the videos I was showing? Remember that video? Remember they had the army tanks in the bushes. Remember that train that had that long train that had all the tanks on it, going through wherever it was going through. Remember that looked like they might have had oil on it, and it was green, and on the side of it said COVID-19 on the train tracks. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, the military been outside. It says that confirms that. The United States has been under the control of a federalized National Guard, supported by the U.S. Navy, Coast Guard, and a global military alliance. This isn't just another operation. This is Operation Castle Rock, a covert military action. What did I say? This is a military op. A whole bunch of little ops are under that. But we find out about certain things when the op is over, like the transcripts out of Guantanamo Bay. You can't get transcripts of a ongoing court proceeding. You got to wait till it's over. So yeah, Michael Baxter put that up. Operation Castle Rock, a covert military action aimed at exposing corruption and restoring justice. And that is regarding the trafficking. That's the main thing. The phase 1 is complete. Remember, I told y'all it's in phases, and the SARA was leaked in phases. I told you phase 1 would be the upper echelon, Jeffrey Epstein and all them, because it was a election year. That's that first list of 86. I said that's they're gonna step down. The next phase is gonna be these celebrities, which you see start getting popped. During phase 1, I said you were gonna find out that 95% of Hollywood is transgender, which you finding out now, right? But I don't know what I'm talking about. Phase 1 is complete. The military has successfully trapped the corrupt Washington establishment, and now we are moving into phase 2. The Supreme Court has already made its decision on the Brunson versus Adams case, which is set to blow the lid off the 2020 election fraud. Now, I made knowledge more about the Brunson case at the end of January of 2021. Then I found out that Mr. John had direct connect with that case, because that's when who was it that popped that and announced that? Mike Huckabee. It was Mike Huckabee that made that announcement. Don't play with me. Mike Huckabee in that article. And it was like these brothers from Iowa or Utah, whichever state, they simply filed paperwork against the deep state or the government for not taking the right steps regarding that election. Donald Trump contested it. Y'all didn't do nothing. These simple brothers filed a lawsuit and they won. That part. The Supreme Court I told y'all they been decided, ruled on that case. Right. But they in the bushes. They said what they stolen for. So the reason why they ain't come out the bushes. This receipt is getting ready to pop that. The Brunson versus Adams case, which is set to blow the lid off of the 2020 election fraud. Congress's failure to investigate the widespread voter fraud is about to bring down the entire Biden skin mask administration and all of Congress. Remember that receipt that said it was 194 congressmen booked and Joe Biden from me in 2021, January 2021. And then right after that, the video I showed y'all with them taking leading the kids out the White House. Where my baby Mal at? Right. That's when the January 27th of 2021 is when the White House was dark and he brought them babies out the front. Right, Joe? Yeah. That part. Okay. A trusted military source has leaked that within the next 24 to 48 hours. That's why I said I'm stationary. The Supreme Court will announce the government shutdown and its replacement. Are you ready for the great comeback? The global media is prepping for Disclosure Day with GESARA's principles. So they're not saying GESARA no more. I see you peep that, Joe, right? They just saying GESARA, meaning global.
It's global.
And that's why they started saying that. I said in my head, but I said I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm looking for confirmation more than once. This is the second time. They calling it GESARA because of the BRICS, because of the global. And I think because they labeling it GESARA, I think that all them rates gonna come out. All of them gonna all of them gonna come out. So the GESARA's principles, the largest wealth transfer in human history, and the new global economic system will be revealed. That is the QFS, the quantum financial system. Quantum, anything, again, you heard me say this 1,000 million times. Anything with quantum in the equation cannot be hacked or destroyed. So you got a quantum internet when that EBS, whenever it comes, this internet, this BS internet, this old sitting on you like an apex predator internet is going down. And when the internet comes back up, brought back up, is going to be that the quantum internet. So anything under that BS internet is voided out. Everything. Did you say that, Joe? You said the banks. You said it all when that QFS is switched over.
Yeah. Everything, and that's why if you owe anything, your phone's probably blowing up right now. They call you early in the morning to late at night, 3-4 times a day.
Right.
Because they know it's over.
Right.
It's over. And that kind of ties into the song that's going to be playing in a couple of seconds. But other than that, yeah, that's it.
It says here, this synchronized broadcast will reach billions utilizing the emergency broadcast system. That's the EBS. When that alert go off, it's going to say over here, it's going to say presidential alert. Which again, that decode connects. Let me connect the dot on air like I usually do. You gonna remember the receipt I showed y'all with Donald Trump sitting? That's when he was on Air Force One. Because remember, I streamed a live clip of that same the clip of the still shot with him with that old iPhone 3G. And remember, we were talking about it, and it was like going from side to side, and you was like, I said he on a plane. You say he either on a ship or a plane.
Yeah.
Right. And then on the phone, it says presidential alert. Back in 2017, everybody phone, even the Obama phones, got that. And I was like, why is the president texting me? Child, it was a test run. It was a test run. So that presidential alert. Yeah. Everybody says, I got an EBS, you got a local, like a local test. But no, I said, when that EBS come, everybody go get it. It's going to say presidential alert. So yeah, those, again, just be prepared just to have food and stuff like that. The internet is going out, not the power. They can't stream confessions or documentaries of exposing what these pedophiles and satanic people was doing if the power is out. No, you ain't gonna be able to be on your phone looking on Snapchat and Facebook and all that. No phones, no internet, and no phone service, just the TV. So if you live in a house where I have so many people that hit me up and say they thank me for you know, what's going on, because they either got a spouse, a wife that don't get it, now they get it, and a husband that didn't get it, and now he get it. But if you were in a household where you are the one that, whether you male or female, that is for this great awakening, and then your spouse or boyfriend or whatever, girlfriend or whatever, is a Kamala headboard person, yeah, you're gonna have to sit there. That Kamala headboard person is gonna be crying with what they're going to disclose about what she was involved in, and everybody else. A lot of people are not going to be able to stomach what they see, because you're going to find out all this time you've been idol worshiping them, and they've been killing babies, trafficking them, all kind of carrying on, and been up here selling you a dream, a satanic dream, to where you put that Wakanda pose of Exodus. That's satanic carrying on. You throwing up that pyramid. That's that satanic carrying on. Child. So yeah, it's a lot. But it's been a journey, child, from every flag, every, you know, but
Some footage of the plane.
all right. Oh, show what you're gonna show, Joe.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm still looking for it.
No, I'm done. Oh, okay. So
I'm trying to find the one that they edited.
yeah. What else what else?
We got one more, and that's the
You got a video?
no, I have that lined up also.
No, you gotta put the Kamala headboard up there. You know I gotta drag that.
I was getting ready to go.
Child. Donald Trump told you, he said you in debt. Let me help you. Let me pay your debt for you. Let me get you correct. Let me iron out your wrinkled school clothes over there. Child.
All right.
That receipt with Donald Trump with the purple tie on. Purple represents the combination of blue and red.
It's over. It's over.
You petty Joe for that song, child.
Oh man! Look,
Petty.
y'all know Cameo. That was Cameo. That was one of the old school. Yeah,
I wish I had that receipt that that said that Kamala Headboard's gonna throw in her bid for 2028.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I didn't get that one. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
put that one on here. Yeah, she they said she the news said that she's probably the best qualified to run in the 2028 election. And I'm like,
You know that's a troll, right? You know that's a troll.
you lost $1.5 billion.
No, Joe. You gotta look at it deeper. That's a troll by the White Hat. The
Oh, yeah.
most qualified, because they know she disqualified because of that birth certificate.
Yeah. Yeah.
She an anchor baby. She's not even that. That birth certificate is fake too. That is Kamal al-Rouge. That is a Libyan. The father was part of the Sanusi satanic army that tried to kill Gaddafi when he first got in office. That person, Kamala Headboard al-Rouge Converse, has been a British citizen since 1986. When that person said that they was listening to Tupac in high school, remember that? You was in high school in the 1980s. Shut up over there.
No,
That person is what's legally called in aberrality law, maritime law, as an anchor baby. Those parents were not citizens, even though they weren't even the parents. Again, these are CIA assets that they create a whole profile and a whole fake, life. I had that receipt that said that all Obama's records was either fake or they were sealed. That all those credentials was BS. Harry Lennox exposed to say he was uneducated. He said the educated man from Chicago you hear talking out there, he said, that's me. He said he's a rat bastard.
Oh, yeah,
He said that was that man count interview I popped back in 2020.
That's the same guy that was in the Matrix, right?
No, Harry Lennox is the guy that played Dresser in the 5 Heartbeats. He the one that plays. You've seen the Man of Steel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays what's his name again? Damn. No, it's not. No, it's not Man of Steel. It's the Justice League. Oh, what was the character? And I'm a DC fan. I'm crazy. Excuse me. The DC. I'm a DC nerd. I'm DC. Marvel is cool, but I love DC. Child, the Justice League. What was his name? Oh man. Oh, you watch Blacklist?
Yeah, yeah,
He's Cooper. He's Cooper in Blacklist.
yeah. That's what I said. He was in Matrix. He was in the second Matrix.
Oh yeah. He was the one that was trying to challenge Jada Pinkett, and
Yeah.
he was jealous of Larry Fishburne.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Things never change.
Yeah, but I know him as Dresser for the Five Heartbeats, and I forgot the character in the Justice League. But anyway, yeah, that Man Cow interview I popped. He was actually in the studio interviewing for something else, and as he was leaving, there was a cardboard cutout of Obama. And Man Cow, they was talking to him, and then he said, "You have any words?" It was something that was going on, and he said, "Oh, I'm supposed to like." He said, "He said he don't f with Barack Obama." He said he a rat bastard. He said, "Oh, because you think we look alike, I'm supposed to like him?" Then he started running his mouth. He said that he was brought in to coach him. He said he couldn't speak, uneducated. He said, when you hear and if you listen to Harry Lennox, Barack Obama sounds just like him. Because Harry Lennox is the educated brother from Chicago, not Barack Obama. He from the curb. You don't know where he from. He Jason Bourne. He Jason Bourne. Out here. But the one thing we do know that ain't fake is that he Adolf Hitler's grandson with the receipts, the biological bloodline receipts. You finding out that this is a spiritual war, but right now it's a war on information, all the censorship they carrying on. People doing things, selling their soul for cents on the dollar. People invest. People of color have had the most purchasing power for so long, and nothing to show for it. That's Harry Lennox, right? That's him. Have the most purchasing power and nothing to show for it. You'll invest in some sneakers that they charging you over here $400 or $500, and Nikes, Jordans, any of that, they cost $8 to make his sole career. My cousin, child, he in the army. He retired now. I think he's retired. He's young, but he retired now. His first tour was over in Seoul, Korea. He used to tell us about. He used to send sneakers and all that back. But he also was part of a special tank unit that ran. He was in one of the tank units that ran up in Saddam Palace. He was over there in Iraq. And he said this thing's over there. He's seen that. He said the child. So I get it. But yeah, you invest in all these things. You know what I'm saying? All that swiping, Bitcoin. You found out that Bitcoin was what? Pedophile money. That whole entire part, and it ties into the Clinton Foundation and these babies, pedophile Allen, and the Disney cruise ships. These rabbit holes are so deep. So deep.
You know what? You said something that brought this video right here to mind. Let me let y'all check this out real quick before we
Okay. Mm-hmm.
get it out of here. All right, check. Okay, it's not gonna let me zoom in. All right, check this out.
1934. Cadillac wouldn't even exist today had it not been for Black America in 1934. And I can tell you exactly how they did it. First, you have to understand Henry Ford had 3 car companies. First was a complete failure, sold the assets. He had a second car company which failed, and a man named Henry Leland bought it and turned it into Cadillac. And then Henry had a third company we know as Ford Motor Company. Henry didn't really do the work. He hired some brothers and then tried to cut the brothers out. Those brothers started a car company named Dodge. So I want you to understand how incestuous this is. So Henry Leland started Cadillac. GM bought it in 1919 from him. So now General Motors has it. It's one of the top luxury brands in America. But when the Great Depression hit in 1928, nobody had money, right? You don't have auto loans. They did not exist. So if you couldn't pay cash for a car, you weren't getting it, and banks failed, nobody had money. So Cadillac lost 85% of their sales in 5 years. They were literally in the board meeting to shut Cadillac down with their service manager nationwide come in and goes, I think I can save the company. Like, whatever, how? He goes, we don't sell to anybody but white people. The Black Americans in the South will pay white guys $300 cash over and above the price of the parcel they can drive. The elite, the judges, the attorneys, the entertainers, the poor. And Cadillac's like, what do we got to lose? So in 1934, they opened it up, the first car company ever to have integrated sales. And Black Americans bought so many Cadillacs in 1934, sales went up 70%. Now I want you to ask yourself, this is the Great Depression. Nobody has money. There's bread lines. How can Black Americans afford to save a luxury? Huh? How? They couldn't put their money in the banks. And all the banks failed. All white people lost their money. The law of unintended consequences kept Black America from being harmed by the Great Depression like everybody else, believe it or not. And I talked to a gentleman who said the only reason my granddad said he knew it was a Great Depression because he saw a white man take it out of his trash. I was like, wow. So in doing this, it turned Cadillac around. Cadillac became the first auto manufacturer to hire Black Americans to sell the design and style team, not just the factory. So Cadillac came with the first integrated brands, and a lot of times we have stereotypes about Black America loves Cadillacs. Now you know why. They say the damn car.
I did not.
Now, when you brought up how much money, Black folks had back in the day, yeah, that
Mhm.
it reminded me of that video there. And how
Right.
it's a couple of times that the black finance saved United States. That was one of them. But the Black Wall Street also, when pretty much the country was going bankrupt, they didn't. The black banks didn't go bankrupt.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that's all ties into Black Wall Street. And see, a lot of people don't know about. They know about Black Wall Street, but there were Black Wall Streets or thriving communities of people of color everywhere. But Black Wall Street, they mentioned Black Wall Street because because it was Target initially first. But see, what was crazy about Black Wall Street was that, like, you couldn't stop it. So what did they do? They dropped bombs on it from the air, and then they sent the KKK on the ground to do the rest, which was wild. Again, you go back in history with the intricate plot, and you see that it has nothing to do with race. It never was. This is a corporation, a business that is limited liability, so they've been carrying on. Everybody's expendable to where they line up their own CIA asses that they sent out to do the job. That lady from Roe versus Wade, that was an op. She lied about that to get that law passed, and then what did they do? They threw her under the bus by leaking the footage of the truth. Child. Everybody up in arms about the Roe versus Wade thing about it, but not knowing what it's about. The narrative, that's okay. The narratives have been put about. Matter of fact, I'm even going to talk about that because it's a sensitive topic, and I don't infringe on you family on somebody else's panel. But the carrying that they was doing down at the Democratic National carrying on that convention with that meta bus down there for women to go have those procedures. Nobody mentioned that, but again, about with Planned Parenthood. Oh, that part right there. Janet Yellen.
Доллара как мировой резервной валюты.
Reserve currency. Let's see.
Happened the next week. This was I thought this was a video about her stepping down, but that was when the seal fell off.
Oh, when the Treasury seal fell, right, child.
And
that
then
was
the very
cool.
next week, the very
Listen,
next week,
if you don't see them trolling in these, and putting the spotlight and trolling, white hats trolling, then you do not know what's going on. I don't care how much you think you do. If you don't see, remember when Donald Trump was up in New York in court with Alvin Bragg? I already knew he was up there to pop that court.
Flashback.
But remember the press conferences every time supposedly after court, it was CGI like a motherfucker, child. And Derek Johnson, salute to him. He popped it. He said, "You think that Donald Trump?" He said, "Donald Trump." He said, "Listen to what he's saying." But yeah, that was CGI because it was the same background every time he came out the court. He came out the court. It's the same background. Yo, in New York City, Mayor Eric Adams, all of them been booked. All his administration, even the NYPD brass and the fire department. Going till November. That coded video with him talking about it's a water shortage in New York. You know, water shortage in New York. You talking about the currency there. Y'all broke up there. That was cold. I'll pop that. But what I was saying about Donald Trump and the purple tie. The purple tie, you see Donald Trump, persona A and persona B. One persona is all about the you see Donald Trump, he playful and things like that, and he's talking in code and everything. And then it's persona B where he not playing. Don't play with me. Where he called them all kind of F this and B that and all that. Don't play with him. He a Gemini. Geminis are physically split in two. Libras have the spiritual balance. Geminis are two different people, chap. But I love you, Mimi. Two different people. So, yeah. So, Donald Trump wearing a purple tie after he got elected again for the third time. Elected again. Purple represents sovereignty. Sovereignty. When you are a national, Donald Trump is a national. His name is King Donald Trump. That's his name. He is sovereign. Now, all those executive orders and everything that you see in paperwork that they post receipts with Donald Trump's signature, you see it in black and white because it's a screenshot, a copy of them. All those executive orders that man signed in purple ink. That part. As a national, you ain't signing nothing. I mean, you're not entering into no contracts. But if you do sign something, your signature, it's in purple ink. That means you're sovereign. Here, they make you sign in black ink or blue. Preferably blue or black ink. But in the corporation, your signature, even your signature on something is binding you to a contract. You sign your, my kid, I found out recently, maybe a year ago, that my daughter's birth certificate is not birth certificate, her report card is a bond. It's a bond. Wow. When I was growing up, we got a report card. It was hard. It smelled like an old book. You put it on the refrigerator and a magnet, right? You didn't have to sign it and give it back. Why are you signing and giving back? Because that's your child, right? But that's your child under you. So the report card got your child name on it, but just signature, you are the temporary parent of that. You get access to their trust too. You don't have to. With report cards, it's different. That's why the Department of Education on the clock. And as a teacher, still with the union, burn them down. Burn them down, child. That part. What you got, Mr. John?
I think that's it there. I was still looking for the video for the next time. Did you want to do the other half of that, or you want to wait until another day to do that one?
I want to pop the we talked about Jack Smith, right?
Yeah, we talked.
It was something else. Wait, hold on, yeah. It was something else I wanted to pop here. All right, you showed the video with the dude, the birth certificate. Oh, child. Okay, I'm going to text you this receipt. Oh, damn. It's not a video.
What is it?
It's a bombshell. It's what I said. It just confirms what I said. I can read it because if it's not in video form, you're not going to be able to show it. Now, we're going piggybacking off of.
Text it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna text it to you. Ciao.
Text it to me. I can put it on the screen.
Okay, we're gonna put it on the screen. Okay. Donald Trump has been versed in the Constitution. Oh, that Majid receipt. We gotta talk about that. No, we have to talk about that. No. But this receipt, Donald Trump, as a now, you cannot indict someone that is sovereign. An indictment is not guilt or innocence. It's simply a list of charges they're trying to bill you for. It's a true bill. All of those indictments and those trumped up charges, they were trumped up to what? Donald J. Trump in all caps, which is a straw man, which is not him. That's not him. So you can put 1 million indictments on there. It don't apply to him because he ain't an employee. He's not a de facto employee of the United States Corporation. Now, what did I say earlier? As a national, somebody can try to file paperwork, and they could attempt to give it to you, you could, like I said, you could fart, blow, and kiss them, fart on them papers and say F that. Or you could agree to go into our cross jurisdiction, because as a national, even though you here going into these courts, you were going into corporate jurisdiction. Hence, those judges saying don't bring that Constitution shit in my courtroom. So you cross it, you agree to, I'll come into your court. For what though? But here go an affidavit of appearance fee. If you got $100,000 for 15 minutes, then I'll come across jurisdiction. That's what happened. I told you they paid Donald Trump to go up in there. He went up there to expose, and that's exactly what happened. But he also went into these courts to set precedent. I'll let you charge that straw man because it don't apply to me as a national, but y'all can be brought up on charges because they were citizens. They were not sovereign here. They weren't nationals. They were sovereign to the United Kingdom. Y'all citizens here. So yeah. Now, in their desperation to get Trump and his supporters, Democrats were baited and trapped into establishing 17 precedents. Child! There go that 17 again. 17 precedents to be used against them later. Boomerang. So you charge me, you charge that straw man. All right. So now it could be circled back to all your former presidents can be indicted. Obama, Clinton, Bush, the other Bush, Jimmy Carter, if they wanted to. Child. Right. Michael and I. The first one, presidents/former presidents can be impeached. Oh, wait, let me pause there. The video you showed with the fake Obama certificate. He was carrying on the video because he said, this is on the whitehouse.gov website. Why is that? Because even though it's a fake birth certificate of Michael and I's, the presidential records can be available to the public 5 years after president finishes their last term.
And he tried to get it sealed for the next 20 years too.
Right. I told y'all back before I popped that birth certificate of his was fake. Because I had popped that he was Hitler's grandson. So presidential records are available to the public 5 years after that president finishes his last term. So that's why that's why they had it on their White House website, but it's a whole fake birth certificate, like I told y'all. So presidents/former presidents can be impeached. February 2021. The trial. So even though Donald Trump was dismissed twice, the impeachment, me and Emrek popped that twice. The impeachment didn't go through. The fact that they were able to create a bill or indictment of it, here you go. Just because they had an impeachment trial for him and they tossed it out, they still indicted him. So you still can indict. Whether it get thrown out like his or it don't, I can still indict. You can still be indicted or impeached. 2, presidents, former presidents. Because wasn't Bill Clinton impeached? That part. Was he impeached?
Yeah, he was impeached, but he
was impeached, but Trump was not. Right. 2, presidents/former presidents can be forced to reveal tax and benefit. Everything they did to Trump is the boomerang. He hitting it with them. I told y'all. Everything that they did, the deep state did to us, they turning around and doing it to them. Didn't I say that? I said that in 2021. 3, presidents/former presidents lose executive privilege, Bannon Navarro in prison. Right. 4, presidents/former presidents lose attorney-client privilege, Coruscant testimony force. Right. Child, this receipt right here is crazy. 5, presidents/former presidents don't have presidential immunity for unofficial acts. Child. We're gonna laugh. Yo, everything right here is everything they did to Donald Trump. Child. Number 6, presidents/former presidents can be forced to release private phone records and text messages. Right. 7, presidents/former presidents can have their homes raided by the FBI. Deadly force authorized. Right. Everybody skipped over that. That fake ass Mar-a-Lago raid, that was actually that was a lineup. That was a hit. They was ordered, right, Joe? They was ordered to kill on sight, right? That part. They was ordered to kill on sight.
That's why he was in New York.
Right, and they was ordered to kill on sight while sniffing Melania panties. That part. Number 8, president/former presidents can have. Oh, I read that. Can be subpoenaed by partisan committee. January 6th show trial. Child. 10, president/former presidents lose their First Amendment rights to free speech. The gag orders and all that, kicking him off of Twitter and Parler and everything else, the way he had to go get Truth Social. Right. 11, president/former presidents lose the right to a trial by jury. Mar-a-Lago only worth 18 million trial. The lies. The lies for me with that. 12, president/former presidents are no longer protected by the statute of limitations expiring. Right. 13, right. They go back all the way to Stormy Daniels. How long ago was that? Try to try him with that carrying on. And then he circled back and sued her and won. And didn't he sue his own former attorney and won that too? And then E. Jean Carroll battle axe. Did he sue her too? And won.
No, he hadn't sued E. Jean yet. That case is next to get thrown out. But yeah, Stormy, yeah, he done spanked her.
No, I'm not talking about. I thought I came across a receipt. She tried that E.G. Carroll tried to sue him.
Right, she tried to sue him again.
They threw it out. They threw it out, and then he circled back and sued her. Or he is suing her, something like that.
Yeah, because she tried to sue him for $10 million, something like that, extra, because she felt like he should have been quiet, and because he was still letting them know. I don't know this woman. Actually,
right. You stalking me. Right.
And that's the only case in the world that I know of that, and, you know, people still talk about that. It's like, oh, he sexually assaulted. Well, I hate to say that. Word.
No.
They don't get pulled.
I'm flagging for that.
He essayed this woman and all this. I'm like, okay. The one question that Donald Trump's attorneys couldn't ask her was, when did it happen?
That part, Joe.
They could not ask her. This came down from the judge.
Mm-hmm.
They could not ask her a date, which is stupid to me. I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that I can't prove an alibi? I could be all the way on the other side of the world during the time she said that I did that in a dress that wasn't even made yet. Okay, and then they say, oh, you liable for it, but I'm not guilty of the essay, but you say I'm liable for it.
Right. Hence the corporate shit. Excuse me.
Right.
Hence the right. All that corporate law and all that carrying on.
Right.
He didn't violate her constitutional right at all. You don't even know the lady.
Right.
But that's the difference between you can get caught up and they allow you in the corporation to sue for anything, liable, all kind of carrying on, because it's all about money.
Yeah. And then, as a matter of fact, that lawsuit was under a law that they created to last only 1 year.
Right, for him, for Donald Trump. Child.
Well, a couple of other people sued people because that's how Puffy got sued, is under that same thing. But I believe they did just to make it look good. But it was only it was never a law until Donald Trump got hit with it, and it was only supposed to last for a year.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, yeah, 14. People who tell lies can be fired or can be fined billions of dollars. Alex Jones fined 1.5 billion for lying, for allegedly lying. I believe Alex Jones wasn't. I know he wasn't lying because remember, Alex Jones the one that popped the Bohemian Grove. That part. Alex Jones is the one that popped the FEMA caskets with Jesse the Body Ventura behind Walmart, right? That part. He the one that popped that video I showed wherever they was. I think it was Texas, and him and his crew ran up on that car and they had them babies in the back. He told the get out. They told the children to get out the back of the car. I don't believe Alex Jones, but is an op. I believe they tried to line up. They say he was side and all that carrying on. Yeah, they villainized that. Because the only thing that was funny to me was when they said that whatever network or whoever it was bought InfoWars, and he was up there crying. He was up there crying, child. Oh, God. I put that on my video, on my live. They was crying in the chat. Next line. Vice presidents can no longer question validity, of disputed electoral votes who charged to electoral college court. This is everything they did to Trump, and I'm laughing because it is on point. Every line is everything that they came at Trump with. Child. 16 contingent electors are now fake, right? And can no longer be submitted when the election is just because it's when there's a tie, right? Even with a perfect example, Al Gore, he contested the election. They went back and counted the electoral votes because Trump contested it. They said no. They said no, ma'am. Al Bundy, no, ma'am. They said no. Yo, this is crazy. And the last one says it's 17. Protests can be declared an insurrection, and the protesters jailed for years without trial. January 6th. Meanwhile, the insurrection was Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, what they carrying on. Child, old and older. Child, Nancy Pelosi. Oh yeah, Nancy Pelosi is one of Hitler's daughters too. Helga, remember I popped that? Child. Remember I popped that? Right. Yo, this movie is crazy. You finding out that it's a blood war like the Hatfields and McCoys. On the right side is the Clooney or Kennedy, that biblical bloodline, and then on the left side is them 200,000-year-old in the face Khazarians. The Khazarians are the great parents of the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, the Ashkenazi Jews, the Sephardic. They are those. Benjamin Netanyahu wasn't a what they say Jew, not even a Zionist. He was a Khazarian. That part. That part. If President Trump had taken these actions against the deep state criminals during his first term, Democrats and media would have framed it an unprecedented political persecution. We've seen that happen. It would not have been accepted by the public. Civil war possible. Before these actions can be taken against the real criminals, they must happen to President Trump first. You got to see the crime play out. It ain't shoplifted till you get caught with it out the store. And we've been saying that. You got to watch the crimes play out. That's why he went up into the court in the first place, to set precedent, but to expose. And look, the boomerang effect. Mm-hmm.
You sent me this. I thought it was crazy. I'm looking at this.
I just want to, I want you to go, child! Remember I popped that?
Yeah.
I popped that. Child. Also, Nancy Pelosi was executed at Gitmo on December 28th of 2022. That was the day before my birthday. The day before my birthday. Yeah, because remember, Michael Baxter back in late 2021 popped the doppelganger or the double, Nancy Pelosi double. Child. That Nancy Pelosi double was high off of cocaine and drunk. They popped that doppelganger. It's something else. The one last thing. Hold on.
What, the Majid text?
Yes. You can break that down. I'm quiet. I'm gonna mute up because that's your territory over there. Salute to Mr. John Dowling. This is for those who know, but also for everybody. Moonshine Betty, right?
I'm looking for it now, so forgive me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I saved it, but I didn't.
Somebody said, quick question. I was thinking about that police officer in California. Donna, what's up with that? I never believed that. That part. You're dealing with, it's so diabolical. The more paperwork I do in NUOAC, the more I come into and find out, it's so diabolical. It's so diabolical that I definitely know it's unnatural. It's unnatural to have all those loopholes and the wordplay is crazy. But that's how I know with my decoding skills that it is part of some satanic thing. Because the English language I exposed to you is spells. It's satanic. You know what I'm saying? You turn around, you have that connected to that. So it's child. This is old, this ancient. The receipt from the military telling you that China been trafficking since the Roman Empire. That part. Okay, there you go. Is
Right.
that the one?
Well, I don't know if this is the one. That's what I was going to ask you. Is it this
No,
one?
that's not the one. That's not the one. That's not the one.
Okay. All right. Where did I put it? You sent me one. Didn't you send me one? Oh, I think this is it. Yeah, I think this is it. All right, Amina, it looked like we lost her. Yeah, we lost her. So I'm gonna go with it until she come back. Well, this is basically telling you that if you got currency or something like that, it's about to revalue. Uh, that last receipt I just showed you is basically them admitting that the auction, the currency auctions are no longer happening, and everything that needs to happen in order to switch in order to RV the currency is happening, and the process is starting to begin now. This is something that we here she is. All right, so it's something that we wanted to happen a while back ago because they were putting us through all these hoops because United States was second to this table.
Right.
All the countries that were dealing with communism and third world countries and all, they let them go first because these are the people that were suffering the most.
Right.
Now it's starting to come to us. You see, the bonds are basically coming. The Chinese bonds, which a lot of other people have. Some people, it's not a lot of people who have Chinese bonds, but
right. I made that knowledge more about that.
Yeah, but the moment they go, they say right now it's roughly under 3,000 people.
A small
plus,
group.
Right, plus or minus. You're looking at people dying and forgetting that they have it, and either lost through attrition or
because they got the email that came to them about that regarding that.
So these other than that, yeah, the IQD rate, they're looking for it to come out at $16. Yeah, they're looking for it to come out around there.
I said 15. Where my big bro at? I said 15.
Yeah,
I said 15.
You're looking at that, and then the dong is supposed to be 20% less than the IQD, and so that's
$2. That's $2. That's $2 less. That's $2 less.
Back.
So that's 16, and the dong is 14. Child, where my big brother at?
And one thing they did, what did I tell you that they did this past weekend? I don't know if I told you this. They did a census in Iraq.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They did a census in Iraq where they made everyone stay home so that they can count them. Because that oil revenue has to be split up amongst the families there in Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to go see who's there, see who's living, put everybody on record.
Yes.
So, you can go down generations with it. The money
right, because in Iraq, see, me, Mr. Joe, I've been well versed in it because of him. Over in the deep state is global, so all of these, this entity kind of just infiltrated and illegally occupied these spaces in countries all over the world. So you was programmed to believe or told to believe that Saudi Arabia was this forerunner in the oil. The reason why you were because they was in bed with him. The Bush family, Osama bin Laden. At the end of the day, why did he flip? He was CIA, but why did he turn? Because that bin Laden family is special. They are the protectors of the Nephilim. When you're ready to have that conversation, come holler at me. But you were believed to believe that Saudi Arabia was this, the forerunner in gold and oil, but that's not true. To the east, Iraq, Kuwait, Iraq, and Iran. Hence why they was over there bombing, sent the troops over there trying to build that pipeline. They started building that pipeline under Kuwait because they went there first. and tried to kill Saddam Hussein. They didn't kill him. I popped that early in 2020 that he was still alive. Then they went over from Kuwait to Iraq with and all of that. And then they bet a brick wall because Iran was like, yo, you come over here, we'll nuke this whole shit. We'll nuke the whole planet. Don't come over here. So, but in all actuality, those three countries are the forerunners in oil, gold, and Iran with their nuclear carrying on. But the gold and oil is over there, those three countries. So, now, regarding, I had the receipt that said Iraq is number 9 on the list of the countries that have the most gold. I mean, Russia has like 110 metric tons of gold. And Iraq was at number 9 with like 9 metric tons, something like that. You know, so they keep putting Iraq in the forefront, saying Iraq gonna go first for a reason. The only thing Saudi Arabia was known for was trafficking. That part. But so now all these countries, remember I kept telling y'all in my chats that we waiting for them to revalue or exchange, you know, and get theirs. We exchange with them, and they are waiting for us. We last because Donald Trump is the facilitator of the BRICS initiative. He the one that went on that world tour. Then after that, he got these countries that you didn't know exist to stop beefing. Look, y'all gonna get to this world peace. Now, literally, you gonna get to this world peace, or you can't get no money out here at all. Not on this block at all. You know what I'm saying? So, like we said, you got all these gurus talking about this and that. Like, what did you say, Mr. Joe? You need to put that on his shirt. You can't do business with a bad rate.
Bad rate, yeah.
Right. You had Sudani out there on TV, you know, in Arabic talking big business. I'm not going to invest with you if you got a low rate. Ciao. No. So those first baskets back in 2020, we told y'all the three currencies to invest in: the dinar, the Vietnamese dong, and the Zimbabwe zim. We've been told y'all that. So now it in the first basket of what they say in baskets of currencies. But see, like I said, I believe that because of that announcement by the South African president, all those countries, I believe that they talking this Jasara and they don't hear Nasara like that no more. That I believe all them rates or all the rates that are ready to exchange are gonna come out. Not just Iraq. No, I don't believe that. What you say?
No, you're 100% right. You hadn't said anything wrong. Hold on just a sec. I think John might be able to pop up on it.
Okay.
He can explain it a lot better than I can.
Now, if you got a $25,000 dinar and that rate coming out at 16 for a child.
All right, here you go. There you go.
Of course, he's gonna come up here and correct us. Hi,
Jay.
John.
Hey guys, how are you?
Jay,
I don't do this but every freaking day for 4 hours, but you know I got to help my boy Big Joe out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the white cream in the mix here.
Y'all carrying on.
Yeah, we were talking about the Kurt Majid text that just came through today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the currency and how the currency auction pretty much that in. And they're going to go to pretty much the similar system that we're all going to.
Give me a second, guys. I'm going to turn my TV down because I was watching there. Just hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, now I can hear you because I'm going to hear that echo and it's going to be distracting. So, tell me where you guys left off so we can fill in.
Just the rates dealing with Iraq, the rate change, the currency auctions. Actually, what was the one you sent me?
I was just giving my opinion on. I felt that with that video announcement last year from the South African president, they were announcing, because Joe told me, you know, I follow what he's saying. He said every country that announces that they join in the BRICS, you go buy their currency. Go look them up and buy their currency. Right. So that video came out that I posted that had the South African president announcing all the countries that joined the BRICS and that they changed their names back to either a republic or a kingdom. So I was just giving a little history about Iraq, Kuwait, especially Kuwait and Iran, and about how Saudi Arabia, that was the deflection. Saudi Arabia, they siphoned and stole oil and gold. You know what I'm saying? They were
Yep.
known for trafficking. That was they jump off.
Mhm.
Trafficking. Mm-hmm.
Well, money
So, I
laundering
was
as
just-
well.
Right. Mm-hmm. And they was
Sorry.
all involved with social media. The Crown Prince, not bin Salman, the one before him, was all down with Jack Dorsey. He had like a big stake in Twitter stock and all that carrying
Mhm.
on. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. No, I was just adding, Amina, to what you're saying, because it's what we're dealing with in Iraq is currency auctions. So most countries have a currency auction, but it typically is once a week. Iraq is doing it daily. That's our siphoning off dollars. But what Sudani is doing is now breaking that apart, because as Joe knows, when he and I talk about this every day, is that he is now decoupling the US dollar away from their system, basically killing the dollar, forcing them to live on the natural assets they produce: gold, oil, silver, diamonds, phosphorus. Most people don't know this. Iraq produces the largest amount of phosphorus in the world, bar none. So if you're getting phosphorus as any sort of vitamin or supplement, the chances are it's coming from Iraq. So Ariel posted something very interesting. I heard you guys talking about rates. And we don't normally do that on my channel, as people know, but we go back a few years, and Joe's my boy, so I'm going to hook him up on this. But Ariel made a good point, which is to say that you could not go back 21 years to Bush 13308 executive order and bring it back to the rate of inflation then, which would be $4.25. As you know, Amina, money doubles every 10 years in the old
Yes.
system.
Mhm.
So take it up 10 years, 850. Take it up another 10, you're at 17. You still got to add another year or two, and you're looking at, somewhere between 17 and 20.
Right.
Dong, as Joe said, has to be within a 20% differential. This stuff is so much hotter than people realize. And if you guys think
Right.
that's big, wait until
But that's the connection. Do y'all know, not to cut you off, John?
that's fine.
That remember I kept saying, and where's Source at? My big one. I kept saying, why is the talk in its initial stages regarding that first basket of currency? Because in the first basket, it was the dinar, the dong, and the zim. But then remember, Joe, I sent you that receipt that said that the dinar can go as high as 38 per, and that they had Indonesia rupiah added onto that first basket. But then next to that rate, those were the in-country rates that they had there. But then next to Indonesia is said to be determined.
Mm-hmm.
But now they saying no sanctions. That's why I went and bought rupiah, because Joe told me to buy rupiah.
You should,
So-
because, well, simply put, if you go by what we go by on our channel is the Kim Clement, as a Christian, the Kim Clement prophecies, right?
Mhm.
And he said, hypnotic November. I think we can agree we're seeing a lot of hypnotizing events this month. Christmas, I shall make them happy. And so we're seeing a lot of those things transact. And he said there'll be a break in the financial system in the Middle East, the dinar, then all points Southeast Asia, which refers to Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, Venezuela, Bolivar. All those things will decouple, but it will start with the dinar. But once Chamisa, who's a Christian, gets back in as the rightful place in Zimbabwe, you're really going to see that country flourish. Now, as Joe knows, and you probably remember, Trump said when he was running the Apprentice show years ago, he gave a contestant a $100 trillion note and said, hold on to this. Right now, it's not worth much, but soon in the future, it'll be worth a lot. So they have the largest gold reserves in the world. Anybody who's traveled there knows that. So this thing is so kinetic, you can't even imagine how good it's going to be, which is why I always refer to Ephesians 3:20, that he will do things exceedingly abundantly beyond anything we can ask, hope, or imagine.
I have my theories about that as well. I mean, that and amongst other things. I believe that all of these countries, what is it, 129 countries that signed on the BRICS? I think that's where they are now.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they're all signing their form of a constitution, because one of the things for this wealth transfer to take place is the guarantee that it wouldn't happen again. and you're going to give it back to the people, and it won't be stolen from them again. So I believe they're all signing some form of a constitution similar to ours. In that, it was something else too, and I lost my train of thought. It was something else I was going to say when you give us some good nuggets.
But that ties into this republic being the Donald Trump being the core or the initial facilitator of the BRICS alliance.
Mhm.
These countries having their own constitution, because it's crazy. Because earlier I was speaking about other countries, continents around the world. Their inhabitants or their residents are nationals. Only over here, you a citizen with the ideology of that is worker or slave. Your social security. I mean, your name in all caps represents either. It's an acronym. It represents either a corporation or a person tied to a corporation. People don't know the difference between what a person is and a natural person is. It's the wordplay with the corporation. That's why I say it was very
Correct.
diabolical. Very diabolical what they've done. But, remember the receipt with the BRICS alliance with Donald Trump in the middle, and then on the top, it had Putin, Kim Jong-un, and President Xi at the top. And at the bottom, it had Bolsonaro and President Modi. And I
Mhm.
decoded that. I said,
Mhm.
this is the alliance, but at the top, those three at the top, the real ones was executed. And on the bottom, Modi, and Bin Salman was at the bottom. Because Bin Salman, that's that whole, it's deeper than regarding Saudi Arabia of the world tour. That whole thing with the Crown Prince family trying to kill him. Oh, that whole false flag in Vegas in 2017.
Mhm.
They say that in 2017, when that jumped off, Donald Trump, after that ceremony with the sword, and after he went on his world tour, he disappeared. The real Donald Trump disappeared. He insulated because they tried to assassinate Donald Trump and Bin Salman that night in Vegas. Hence that false flag at the hotel. And then he got the kite about them trying to assassinate him from Donald Trump. Hence the sword ceremony in Saudi Arabia. They have a blood oath. They got a blood oath, them two.
Right.
So, and Saudi Arabia that's Wonderland. I mean, that's Wonderland. All the Q drops. Alice, Hillary, Wonderland, Saudi Arabia. That is down. Over there is a trafficking carrying on over there.
So let me just add something real quick, Amina, to what you said that was cogent, because we have Derek Johnson on quite a bit in our podcast.
Oh, I love
Bill knows.
him.
He's great. And I said, are we seeing the real Trump? He said, I don't think we've seen the real Trump in a long time. And we also had Jim Willie on our show, who's
Mhm.
quite a character, Joe knows. And we've had lots of conversations about that. And but he made an interesting point, Amina, several months ago. He said that in Saudi Arabia, in those Muslim occupied areas, they tend to have a lot of kids, and they tend to have a lot of half brothers and half sisters as the generations crisscross. And so the real Bin Salman was taken out because he had Alzheimer's and he was becoming a distraction, embarrassment, didn't know where he was, didn't know what he was signing. So they removed him and put in one of his half brothers in his place, none the wiser, and is doing the bidding, which is why Trump could work with him back in 2018. So there's a lot of moves and counter moves.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what he was talking about. Okay, so piggybacking off of what you just said, the Q drops, and I'm since 2021. I think I'm the only person that has ever mentioned and for three years regarding the Majestic 12. They are. The Q drops tell you, because before it was Q in the drops, it was anonymous. The anonymous is Majestic. The anonymous is not us. You have the civilian digital soldiers. That's us. But the anons are the anonymous. You have Q, anon, but not together. Q is separate. They are two different entities, but they coincide. So the Majestic 12, military industrial complex, all of that was controlled, 322 cabal control, up until Donald Trump. So before George Bush Sr. was executed, he in his wishes, he said make Donald Trump the head of the Majestic 12. But anyway, Q is a psyop, but it's a good psyop. It's a guide for you to go and research and start to think for yourself. But Q's job was to come in and try to awaken the population to 70% of consciousness. And then once the awakening gets to 70%, Q's job is done. And then you got the Majestic circling back with full disclosure regarding everything majestic, meaning spiritual. So that's what you're seeing now. But this is an awakening. It's a spiritual war, definitely. Good versus evil, if you want to talk in linear terms. But this is an economic awakening. This is a spiritual, physical. People are holistic. They're exposing all that food. Not food. What is that? That ain't food. You know, everything's being drained. But regarding the economic part of it, when you kick the Social Security Administration off your Sestiki trust as your trustee because your mother didn't know she was being an informant, all she was doing was happy you was born and signed the birth certificate, right? So now you're dealing with that. So, but it's not about, well, you know, I feel like it's about the freedom. You have the resources, but the freedom to breathe. You are part of a republic, which is for the people, we the people, for the people, by the people. This corporation, as long as you tie to that, you know, people are focused on the human part of the human being. It's a two-part of a beautiful equation. But economically, money is something that's conceptual, like me and Mr. Joe was just talking about. It's not from this plane. It's not natural. So you have something that's quantum. Anything with quantum, if you notice, it's a super secret elective in school. They suppress it because it's proof of spirituality. But anything with quantum in the equation can't be hacked and destroyed. So I got where Joe at. I got the kite from my big brother that somebody walked into a bank in California and was mad aggressive on their neck about the QFS. That was you, Mr. That was you, John.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the Wells Fargo. Yeah. I remember that last year.
I said, wait. And then he sent the receipt. Yo, I get so many receipts from people with your name on it. And I'm like, that's the Mr. John I be talking about in my chat, Mr. John and Mr. Joe. I address y'all as that.
Sure.
I'm like, I know who that is. I say, he famous now.
I'll make you famous. Yeah, no, it's, you know, it's funny because I was going to say, Amina, that, you know, we started doing this a few years back.
Yes.
Speaking of the Susquehanna Trust, and Joe knows I've spent considerable years on that front as well. We found a way.
Remember that phone call? It was you. Was it Brad? That was his name. That we was on the phone. It was on me. It was me, you, and your friend. I thought it was Brad. Was that his name?
I'm trying.
That
to
was in
remember.
2021. That was in 2021.
Yeah, I'm trying to
we were on the
remember.
phone for like an hour and a half.
I know. Yeah, I remember the call. I'm trying to remember who it was. Usually
Yeah.
pretty good with that. It'll come back to me. But anyway.
Yeah, but go ahead.
No, you're fine.
I thought you were talking about him. Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I was just talking about the concept of everything. But I mean, I spent, as Joe knows, a considerable couple of years getting my status changed and corrected to get out of the lint trap they put us in, to your point with the Susquehanna Trust. But it might please the audience to know that once Trump is back in, whether it's, you know, December or January, he's restoring, as you know, the Republic by proxy. All those Treasury Direct bonds that we were trying to get at, the birth certificate, your trust. I've got my birth certificate authenticated both by the state and by getting it away from DC with the golden
Federal and state, right?
Federal and state. I got a golden boss to get it back in my possession and go back to a non-taxable status. We'll be getting all that stuff back. I found out that it's a good thing that I didn't actually get them monetized years ago, and why they were going to such great lengths to stop us, because there were discussions that if you actually did try to get that money back or actually were successful, there were some death threats about that. So this thing had to be timed for effect.
And look at that, because of the seminars I'm getting ready to have, free of charge. People just got to get there, because in the Nasara, if you look at the Nasara, the most excuse me, updated version of the Nasara, they added 2 new clauses. One is regarding the reinstatement of the other part of the 13th Amendment that they didn't ratify regarding anybody with ties or connections, birthright to the United Kingdom cannot hold office in this country. They
Right.
never used to say regarding Kamala Headboard, they used to say the 13th Amendment, you know, and everybody's like, what? Because I knew about that original whole 13th Amendment. Anyone that has connection, that was regarding the establishment of the 13 colonies, separating from the United Kingdom, the whole Paul Revere carrying on. But anyone that has ties, and that was in the whole 13th Amendment, but they never ratified. They ratified half of it. But in the Nasara now, they reinstated the whole, that part that wasn't ratified is now part of the 13th Amendment. And the other clause that they added was prohibit the sale of birth certificates for property bonds. Because not too long ago, about a month ago, the Social Security Administration was down for a week. I went live with that. They said that even those within the agency couldn't get into the system. That's how I knew that our Social Security numbers were safeguarded. It's something getting ready, you know, the system is transitioning. They locked them out. So yeah, because the Federal Reserve since 2020 is gone. And all these things have been absorbed into the Treasury. So now, regarding the hidden wealth restored, the Nasara and all that, that's based on, I didn't know there was that many trusts. Remember Joe, me and Mr. Joe? We popped that St. Germain Trust, but then I found out about the Rodriguez Trust. It's all these trusts all over the world with all this money. Well, not money, because here's the thing. Regarding your Seseki Trust is not money, it's credits.
Right.
And the credits break down to money. You have to transfer the credits into your Treasury Direct account, and that you transfer that, and hence why they ask you to link a bank account to your Treasury Direct. You're not supposed to link a regular bank account. You're supposed to link a private bank account as a national, like Fidelity. There's two bank accounts two private bank entities that I know of. One is Fidelity, and the other one is Klaus Schwab. I don't want nothing with that 150,000-year-old person name on it.
Hey,
So yeah,
wait,
I know about Fidelity because Fidelity, 401k, they taking out 401ks on people money. Again, you clocking into a job. Anytime your Social Security number a job, you paying yourself out that trust.
Correct. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. Is this what you sent me, John? Is this true? Is this AI?
As far as I know, it's true. Came from John G.
Okay, I'm getting ready to switch it over and let y'all see what we're talking about.
It didn't come from me, so I'm not that good.
Oh, wait a minute. That's what's going on?
Yep. Where's DC on the show the flight map, Joe?
Oh my goodness. But then we said he was going to blow up. They were going to demolish the White House. But Mr. Joe, when I went live, John.
Yeah.
Yo, back in, I'm the one that popped. Okay, it was a military dude, right? On YouTube. He was like way out, but whatever kind of camera scope he had, it captured the White House and it captured the sub-levels. And you seen about how many Suburbans was that, Joe? Like 17, 18, 19 Suburbans?
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't 17.
Right, and I said, whoever got that camera, I need it. But it was fireworks going off at the time. It was like in like the fall going into the winter. The matter of fact, it was in January of 2021. But I popped that they had they built some type of reception, like prison reception center with the watchtowers. I popped that at the White House in front. But I also popped the gallows that they had in the back. They took the gallows from the back and they put it in the front. They got the bleachers set up like it's going to be some type of, ceremony or inauguration, but they have the gallows in the middle of the grass. Joe, tell them about that.
Yeah. They're setting up for probably setting up for
public execution.
And,
Right.
look at this. What do you see different about this map? Because I've seen this before.
It doesn't. I popped that in 2020. It doesn't say DC on it. It doesn't say DC.
DC,
It
right?
says DC in the search bar, but not on the
Yeah.
map.
Yeah,
I popped that in 2021.
they took that off a couple of years ago.
In 2021, they took it off. Where Big Sister at? In 2021, they took that off. You seeing the destruction of the what did I say though? And once they optically, we know about Donald Trump getting the like over 60-something assassination attempts off camera. But I said once they put the assassination attempt on TV, you ain't going back from that. And that was that. They started popping everything after that. But then when they shoveled Joe Biden's skin mask into the basement, they put him in the basement. How do you just place somebody that disqualified for holding office? How do you just tell them that they are the presidential front runner? You know what I'm saying? And you didn't have a primary. Hello, Robert F. Kennedy was still on that ticket. He took himself off the ticket after they told Kamala Harris that she was the front runner without a primary. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris, you were in a primary with Joe Biden talking about you believe his accusers, and the next thing you know, you was on your knees forever.
Or like you taught me, Amina, Kamal Rouge.
Right, Kamal Rouge.
Yep.
A British citizen since 1986. So about she was listening to Tupac in 1986. Tupac, child.
That's
How
funny.
old was Tupac in 86? Was he even born yet?
Tupac was born in 1972. 1972.
Wow.
Okay,
So in 86, he was 14. He was 14. Right.
13, 14, yeah.
Tupac and she in college. Okay, right.
Right. In high school, talking about Tupac. But see, and what I say, every time I pop them, I said, watch what happens. Donald Trump, all those little troll, who he's picking for his cabinet. I'm like,
Mhm.
Dr. Oz,
Yeah,
Elon Musk, and the Ramaswamy dude. The
Yeah.
real, they call the Patriots, we know, excuse me, we call that Elon Musk 2.0 because we know that ain't the real one. But that other dude, the one, the Vivek Ramaswamy, they had them saying in the both receipt. Everybody that they were saying was going to be part Trump picked for his cabinet, the White Hats let them say that. They was putting them in the room. They put Matt Gaetz in the room in 52 seconds. They put him in the room 52 seconds. As soon as they said he announced him as the Attorney General, that underage carrying on was popped. And then what he do? He stepped down. He withdrew his bid for Attorney General. He said he wasn't accepting it. Then, Ellen DeGeneres, they put the receipt out saying Ellen and her wife, in quotation marks, was leaving the country or left to the United Kingdom because Trump is president. 2 days later, Michael Baxter and them out of Gitmo, they was arrested by special forces. Then what happened today? Who got popped today? Kamala Harris, the receipt came out yesterday saying that she was putting in a bid for 2028 bid. And at 11:43, Michael Baxter receipt came out saying that special forces arrested.
Yeah, I can
You can't make it up.
On
They
Real
put
Law News.
everybody in the room.
Yeah.
Hey, John, these other legit receipts that you sent,
Yep.
these right here.
Now, I did the research on the Zim. The Zim, the in-country rate is dollar to dollar. It's $361 per one Zim.
Yeah. It's been 361 for about a year, about 2 years, going on 2
Right.
years.
So but if you have a billion, say you got $1 billion, that's $2.7 million.
$2.7 million. Yeah, but
Right.
But, you know, I would have made a partial exchange if we can exchange it, but we can't exchange it here in the States yet.
Right. That's the in-country rate. That's the in-country rate.
Mina, wait until next year when Chamisa gets back. When he comes back after Trump, they're going to tuck the ZIG bonds into the ZIG dollars and ZIG gold coins and make it one unit, and then you'll see how high it goes from there. That's
But see, here's the thing. Remember, the receipt I posted, Joe, where it said it was a gold template of printing money. It was a Zim gold. It was in gold, solid gold, and it said invasion. Remember that receipt?
Yeah.
Right. And they said that Zimbabwe is like Zamunda. Zamunda is from coming to America. They said over there Zimbabwe, is like Zamunda. But they because remember the billboard that said 1:1, the ratio was 1 to 1 there. But I
Mhm.
found out after researching that that's the in-country rate, and it's 361 zim to equates to $1 American. But the rate is like 0.0022. And that's what it is now. So imagine if it goes to 10 cent. Child, 10 cent?
Think bigger, Amina.
You
Yes.
saying the Zim? Because I always said, what did I say about the Zim, Joe? I said it's a sleeper.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I said it's a sleeper, but I
One
found
to-
out
one
now
to
that
one.
the Iranian Real is the sleeper.
Yeah. It's gonna go 1-to-1. But
1-to-1.
even if it did by some
But they said the
horrible
kite said
thing.
that all currencies was eventually was going to be 1 to 1. I heard that
Right.
too.
Right. So once they level
But-
up the first ones we talked about, they'll swing back around to the Zim. It'll go next year,
Uh-huh.
and then you'll see it 1-to-1, and then the other currencies will level out to whatever their rate is going to be.
I got to tease
Right.
you, all right.
Because I said that the Zim was a sleeper, but then the
No.
Iranian
You had to bring that up, huh?
the Iranian Real is a sleeper too.
Oh yeah, the Real. Once that comes off sanctions, yeah, that'll be big as well.
I bought
Absolutely.
Iranian Real. I wasn't playing.
Oh, good. If you could get it, get it. That's good.
I got it. Me and Nua.
Smart girl. Smart girl.
Mhm.
You see, I had to tease my boy.
You're giving me a hard time, huh, Joe?
Yeah.
Can I?
You're such
Can
a
I?
Scorpio, John. You're such a Scorpio.
Thanks, Amina. Well,
No, I'm telling you that because I'm a Capricorn, but I have Scorpio 5 placements all in my birth chart. My mother was a
Okay.
Scorpio, so I'm a
Well,
Scorpio
you're right.
with Capricorn skin.
yeah, no, my birthday was early this month, and Joe's is coming up next week. But I should want to explain that coin because there's a reason why we did that. I wanted something to commemorate this wealth transfer season that we'll never see again as like a legacy moment. But
Right.
more importantly, I wanted something when I have my kids, I want to have something to show them, and it's part of what I'll bequeath to them. But also, what we're doing is we're doing a pay it forward. So if anybody, let's say, has silver, they don't need it, but somebody else does, they can buy a coin and donate it as like a humanitarian thing and pay it forward. That's really the reason for it, ultimately.
I like that. Yeah, because here's the thing. I went. They had. I went to Trump rally. Okay, Donald Trump. He had 2 rallies at the end. He was over in here. He was over in Raleigh, and then he was in Michigan. So I went over the rally to that rally. That's that rally to that rally. Crazy. That was my 4th Donald Trump rally, but it was very intimate. It was sold out. It was packed. But it wasn't like it was the 2nd and 3rd rallies I went to where they had it on the airfield where it was 45,000 people out there. So it was more intimate. He talked a lot about the economy. Okay, I'm outside today, you know what I'm saying? And not too long ago, gas was $4.79 for premium, 93 for my truck. Gas is $2.70 now. It's down to $2.70. But you have this thing where it's, how can I say, it's a lack of, I can't say faith because I don't like that word, but a lack of knowing. Everybody is PTSD, you know what I'm saying? And everybody wants to look to be the victim. People have lost their faith, I'm gonna say it now, faith, or just knowing that there are good people out here. You got the most narrative outside of people trying to make race an issue, and I don't even want to hear about that, is that,
Yeah.
regarding Donald Trump, everybody is on a piano and talking, right? They say, he's the lesser of 2 evils. And I hate hearing that.
Yeah.
Because this man got the military deployed saving these children out here. When meanwhile they don't talk about it at all on the news that they watch.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people don't know about this, even though it may look like somebody's making fun of Greenland.
Child, that's the goal right there.
Yeah. Didn't Trump said that we should buy Greenland?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and
Listen, that's a troll right
theory.
there. I
I
promise
have a
not to do
theory
this
about that.
to
I have a theory
Greenland.
about this, right? Now,
That's a troll. That's Hillary Clinton. She was executed in Greenland. Ah!
he was in Greenland. Yeah, he was going to do this. My theory is this also. Now, there are a couple of countries that was put on a stock exchange.
Right.
Now, according to Executive Order 13848, if you are involved in this election, election fraud, you're looking at seizure, money, property, all
Oh,
of
child, election interference, right? So
yeah,
I get the troll.
election interference. And
There's so
I
many
would
trolls
not
right here. He's doing that
yeah,
in,
I
Mhm.
would
in Greenland.
be surprised if we own a country. And he's saying it, tongue in cheek, but I would not be surprised if the United States owned places like Mexico, Greenland,
Mhm.
Australia.
But they were saying that Donald Trump is the last king. They saying he the king of Scotland. You saw that receipt?
Mhm.
not
Mhm.
surprised. Look,
I
like I said,
believe all of that because
it's true. I'm
Donald
not
Trump,
saying it's true. This is
white
just
and white, the labels of white and black, they're corporate titles, labels. This is the only country in all of the world where they refer to people as black and white. Even people from Africa, they don't use that label. They identify with their nationality. Nigerian, Egyptian, a South African, Yemen. They don't say they're black. That's why they look at people of color over here. They say, oh, people from Africa think they better than us. No, they're looking at you crazy because you're saying you black and they don't know what that is. What is that? Or white,
Yeah.
what is that? They're
Right.
two planes. One reflects light, the other absorbs light. You
Well,
know what
they're
I'm saying?
they're very educated culture as well. I mean, most people, Damina, don't even realize. I'm not talking about this channel. I mean, in the scope of society, right?
Yes. Mhm.
They forget Africa is a continent and there's all these countries in there, so they don't even educate enough to separate.
Right.
that.
They think that Africa is a country. Meanwhile, they call Africa the motherland because
Yeah.
it is the motherland of all resources.
Correct. That part, as you say, that whole part. I'm going to answer Tanya's question here so she doesn't feel left out. How much
You
is it?
can't
for
get
the
no
Zim-
Zim now. We tried. You can't.
Right. Yeah, I know, right?
You can't.
Um,
They say it's a collector's item, something like that, right?
well,
Joe?
that's what they tell you because that's what they're told to say. But
Right.
the Zim notes, which are different from the Zim bonds. So I think she's talking about the Zig dollars. I don't
Oh, no, I
really
got the
buy
bonds.
those, so I focus on the bonds and the
That
bonds.
part we got the bonds.
Yeah, the 100trillions.com where I bought them from usually ranges somewhere between 110 to 150 for $100 trillion note. Just depends on what notes you get.
Somebody told me that there was a 2008 something about uncirculated lifted Zim note for 85. They only had one left, a 20 trillion uncirculated lifted
Yeah.
something like.
is it double
Like
A?
a limited edition.
I don't know if it was double A, because we have the series 2008.
Mhm.
What is it? AA or A?
Yeah,
Double A
double
or
A.
A?
Double A.
Double A bonds without
Mhm.
Saddam face on it. If you don't have Saddam face on it, you good.
Yeah, exactly. Stay away from Saddam. By the way, Amina, when she brought him up, did you know, I learned this, Joe, you remember on PIR back in the day?
Yeah.
Interesting. You probably know this, Amina, but I was something I had to learn. When Saddam Hussein was a little kid, I think in the late, 50s, early 60s, something like that, the dinar was $5 against the US dollar. It was 5-1 way back
Child.
when, before we came in and messed it up with our deep state banker wars.
Right, because they call it a revalue because all the currencies have been devalued, even the
Right.
dollar. In 1921, when they swapped out gold and silver certificates for Federal
Mhm,
Reserve
mhm.
note,
Mhm.
right, empty. Because here's the thing,
Go ahead.
people talking about we have mentioned, and they have mentioned that the prices are going to go back to the 1950s.
Mm.
Or even in 1929, 1930, when there was a recession, everybody's carrying on. I'm like, that's a good thing. Now, if prices now go back with the what it is as far as the economy and what's coming back. But if you in this economy and people have this going on economically, and you simply take the prices back to the 1950s or 1929 when that the Great Depression came, it was it was a depression for the people. It wasn't a depression for them siphoning. Okay,
Right.
they got rich off of the Great Depression. Okay, that part they got rich off of it. So,
Well-
go ahead.
Sorry, I apologize.
that's
Think about what you said for a second, Amina, because it's really important. Let's break that down further. So we're talking about the Great Depression, which was 95 years ago, right?
Yep.
As you recall, 1% of the population thrived during that time, while the 99% did not.
Right.
So somebody
That's what I
saw
was
the
just saying.
opportunity. Aren't we
Mhm.
there again now? Except God's people can truly flourish and be the new 1%. And that's what we're striving on our channel and trying to
Right.
do.
But see, if everybody once they transfer that wealth to everybody, and everybody's on ground zero, and
Mhm.
then the prices go back to 1950. I mean 1929, 1930.
Mhm.
Is that it was a recession or a bad thing back then because the people suffered and everybody else, the 1%, like you said, got rich. But if everybody's a playing ground, so you got all these resources and a loaf of bread is 50 cents, who gonna complain? So I looked at it like that's not a bad thing.
Mm.
People complaining about worried about the wrong things. But
Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's
being
that's the fear porn and brainwashing MK Ultra
right,
that you know about.
the fear of I may fear my ally a long time ago, but everybody ain't the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? My experience online just trying to share this knowledge. I could relate to him being the most hated man in the universe. Donald Trump is the most hated man in the universe, and he don't care. He from Queens too. But when it comes to returning the wealth, this country was returned back to us in 2017, correct, Joe?
Yeah.
That was the first time.
Mainly 18.
2017. No, I mean a January inauguration day when Trump won versus Hillary Clinton is when he had. Remember we was watching documentary. He had the military on the left and the right. That was 2017. In that speech, the republic was returned to the people, but he still had to, like Joe said, you have to expose the crime. That's what all of this has been about. Exposing the crime, me being out the way so you can't say it was me. You can't blame it on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, y'all, you and Mr. John were correct when you said this is not happening on Skin Master's watch or anybody else's watch. Hence why that Brunson case, they made the knowledge born that they get ready to make now in that that post I put up with Trump from that Il Donaldo Trumpo account. That's Donald Trump trolling on that account.
Oh
That's
yeah,
him.
100%.
That's him trolling on that account. So you put up the receipt with him and Melania and Marine One saying we coming home, meaning they coming back to the White House before January 20th.
With John, he interviewed Mr. Bronson.
I've had him on the show a couple of times. Yeah, last week. Yep.
Yeah, because I popped that in 2021 early. They've been made that decision in January when that Insurrection Act happened. Is when the brothers stepped up and filed that petition and everything. And Mike Huckabee, I just said it earlier, Mike Huckabee, the one that went public with it. And right when he went public with it, I went live with the receipts. Simply, we are a republic, or we supposed to be a republic. Simply, those brothers simply said, wait a minute. But not knowing that Donald Trump had already had it in place. Donald Trump found that he never conceded. Child, they forgot about that to this day.
Mhm.
It's 4 years later. He still ain't never conceded.
True.
He contested that election. They watched it stolen over there in the Eisenhower Skiff building right down the block from the White House. I popped that. It was him in there, and the kite came out later that Junior was in there with him. They watched the election get stolen. Donald Trump the next day filed that to contest that. I had went live and said, because I was on point but a little off. I said the Supreme Court didn't touch that case because the military, because he invoked the Insurrection Act on election day. But that receipt that we showed earlier from Joe, it says that we've been under federalized National Guard since March of 2020. But he invoked the Insurrection Act, which gives military total control. And the reason why he did that is because he contested that election, went to the Supreme Court, and they didn't. I said the Supreme Court couldn't touch it because the military in control, but I was over the target. The Supreme Court didn't touch it because Donald Trump went to them and they turned the blind eye to it. So he said, "All right, you're not going to entertain this." And then what happened after that? Not too long, the Brunson brothers filed that lawsuit or filed that suit.
Hey, Joe, can you show real quick to the Mina in the group the thing I sent to you about Chamiso with what's going on with the blackouts?
Let me see if I can find that one. When did you send that one?
Let me see if I can resend it here. Hold on a minute. I had it here a minute ago. Just give me a sec, guys. Let me queue it up here. Long thread.
See it.
You see it, or do you still need it?
See it. Let's just go back.
Here it is. And then he also said this will accompany what you're about to share. I thought it was interesting because Amina was talking about Africa a second ago, and this is the guy we need to be watching, folks. Nelson Chamisa. He's bringing the heat. Yep.
Yeah, my power had went out the other day for like 2 minutes. And it went out.
You know what? Give me a chance to try something.
So, Mina, while we're waiting, do you think we're going to have an EBS or not?
Me and Mr. Joe had that conversation. What did we say, Joe?
Yeah.
Mr. Joe said it first, and I said I agree. He said we might not need one.
Right.
Here's the thing: we watching things that were set in motion, but they don't need it. We built about that case in DC and about the presidential immunity, Trump going into the belly of the beast, and that opens up the floodgates for disclosure regarding the Clinton Foundation, Pfizergate, Durham gonna come out the bushes. But if they don't need to go that way because they playing 5D chess. But I believe, or just in my spirit, they're going to make an example. When I seen them gallows in the middle of the grass in front of the Capitol, I said, yeah. Mr. Joe said they might have to have a public execution.
Well, they're going to have to have one because
Donald Trump ain't playing with these people. He's not playing.
No.
You have to show the people that you can't do this. Now they've been allowing politicians to get away with literally murder, and
right,
they're not being punished for anything they're doing, especially the laws that are violated, that they're violating from God. Those laws,
right,
they have to be punished for that.
And I think that Donald Trump, he not playing. I agree. I believe that they had the public execution. What was it? 1939 was the last one.
Yeah, yeah. And what happened in 1939?
Got lit up.
Remember what happened?
The stock.
When they first started talking about the Madison Square Garden. Remember we broke that down. When they were giving Trump a hard time about having his rally in Madison Square Garden.
Oh yeah.
It was when it was a public execution. That year was the last year for a public execution. Yes, it was a Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden.
Right.
But, they're pointing at that because when that was held, Nazism wasn't huge.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And because if it was, they would have never let the Nazis actually have a rally there.
Right. Oh, child, I remember that.
Last year of a public execution. I think that was a comment.
Right.
Let me see if
Here's the thing. He's been laying down
Electricity was cut to Zambia and Zimbabwe at roughly the same time late Sunday, authorities said, with the cause of the nationwide disruptions under investigation as power was being restored. Power supply went down Sunday evening in both countries, which have for months only been receiving around 7 hours of electricity a day as drought empties their main provider of hydropower, the Kariba Dam. Government wishes to inform the nation that last night at 20:15 hours, a power outage occurred, affecting the entire country, the Zambian government said in a statement. No deaths or critical incidents were reported at Zambia's main hospital, the University Teaching Hospital, as backup systems operated as expected, it said. Power was restored to the hospital after 30 minutes, it added, without saying when the rest of the country returned to normal supply. Technical teams are currently investigating the cause of the outage and working to prevent similar incidents in the future, it said. The Zimbabwe Power Company, ZPC, said Monday that its national grid experienced a system disturbance last night, resulting in a system blackout. The power cut started in Zimbabwe at around 8:25 p.m., reports said. By morning, most load centers were again operational, ZPC said. The countries are already only getting about 7 hours of national power a day, with water levels dropping at the gigantic Kariba Dam, the largest source of hydroelectricity for both countries that sits on their border. The water level available for power generation was 2.40% on November 18, according to the Zambezi River Authority, which manages the dam. The dwindling national power supplies in both countries has led many to turn to alternate options, notably solar energy.
So
That part.
I think 7 hours. That's all the power they have per day. Wow.
Well, that'll
Hey.
change once, electric.
Get rid of that element.
Because we're dealing with
Go ahead.
the Majestic now is out the bushes, so now you got the Starlink, the new currency,
Right,
the rainbow
Starlink.
currency is linked to a gold bar that's connected to the Starlink.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's connected, but they saying that they swapping out these hospitals for med beds, etc. But
Yeah.
go ahead, you can speak.
Sorry, I didn't mean. I apologize. I don't like to interrupt anybody, but yes, I'm going to touch on that in a second. But let me just show you what Joe's showing. Jenny Yellen has resigned. We know this isn't the real person. We're talking about optically. Gary
They've been killed,
Gensler.
so they executed her already. Mhm.
Totally. This is the narrative. And Gary Gensler, we broke it on our channel 2 weeks ago that remember that, Joe? He wrote an internal letter to the SEC that he was stepping down tacitly. Yeah. Now you're going to see this same type of narrative, folks. Don't worry about your cryptos. They're going to moon to the moon. This little Smithers prick from this Simpsons is going to be optically removed very quickly. And yeah, we had a contact, the Marine out of Walter Reed, who told us that initially what we're going to be doing is going into military hospitals, but then, like you said, it will be rolling out early next year to the general public in the main hospitals. So yeah, I'm just backing up on that.
Okay, and that's what's important for me. Yeah. That was the lineup. They stay prepping somebody for the perp war, because not this receipt. This came after, but after that sign dropped on her head, Michael Baxter receipt came out that she was
yeah, that's
saying that she was there's something about she was sick or something like that on the news, but the Michael Baxter receipt says she was going till November. So this is what's been going on. But me and Mr. Joe, we having conversations about, potential other perspectives regarding the EBS. We said, Mr. Joe said we might not need it, but we need it because they have two narratives out here now playing out. They got that Russian Ukraine carrying on optically with the fake shooting at each other, whatever the case is going on over here. That's a deflection. The real situation is, and I thought it was optics because I remember, Joe, what did I say? This is a movie, right? So I said, if Joe Biden skin mask, if everything is CGI and doubles and skin mask, assume Trump is too. Assume Trump is too. So you're dealing with CGI and all of that. So we've been censored because we've been over the target. I understand that now. But the distraction is the CGI and optically. Russia, the real Vladimir Putin, hence the nicknames they have. Donald Trump, he doesn't call none of them by their names. He calls Sleepy Joe because he knows the real Joe is asleep in the basement. He says Killary. He got a nickname for everybody because he knows that he doesn't identify with the real person being around anymore.
Right.
So you're dealing with, this is optics. And then where's that? I have that receipt that says the stuff that's coming out is so ludicrous that you got to laugh at it, but it's supposed to spark a thought. It's supposed to spark a thought. So you have those who come across all of this information and they say, oh my goodness, I'm not alone in what's going on. Now this right here, I did not know. I know about the military plans going back and forth and where the military is over here. I do
Mhm.
know now that it is Operation Castle Rock, but I've been saying that it's a name now to go with the op. I've been saying that this been a global military. COVID-19 is a global military op.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I didn't know that, U.S. military presence, but I believe this because of Barack Obama. The first thing he did when he was inaugurated was sign an executive order to drop bombs over there in the Sudan every hour.
Well, you remember Miss Headboard Harris, in the debate said that there was no military soldiers anywhere.
Right, and no, that video popped. John, he said, "Where do you think we at?"
Yeah. Look at all of
That
this.
was crazy.
Because I was actually over here. I spent 7.5 months
Uh-huh.
over there in a tour in there from October to around.
For me, it, like I said, diabolical. Again, salute to you for your service, because it's just these fake wars. The corporation funded both sides of the war, created fake. They created a whole 9/11 hologram to get access, to stop the Nassar from going public, but also to get access to unlimited funds. What creates revenue? War. That part, war. That Patriot Act, they blamed it on the terrorists when it was an inside job. The Patriot Act was instituted to surveil the people, not the terrorists, because they were the terrorists. So I just feel ugly for myself in this country. All the things prior to Donald Trump, I still want to leave, and I am going to leave and let it cool off a little bit. But you think economically, people they sell a siphon sold every day for money, and you find out now that it's conceptual. Hence, it's changing. Hence, it's introducing new forms of money, Bitcoin, and all that carrying on. Donald Trump went to that Bitcoin bar. He wasn't embracing Bitcoin. He was putting them in the room. This is 2020 all over again. He was putting them in the room. So, but again, they are draining Bitcoin because there are people that are obsessed with it. So we're going to drain. I'm putting it in the room and letting you know, but we're going to drain it because he always offers a choice, even with the vaccines. He knew them vaccines was carrying on, but there are people who believe it. He said, me and Melania treated ourselves with homemade HCQ and ivermectin when I caught COVID, right? A choice, the vaccines. They were never mandated. He said, you either you can take them or you don't. Respecting and honoring people's Fourth Amendment. That vaccine, and I'm trying to force that was an infringement on your due process. People hear due process and think court and arrest. Primarily, due process is about your natural person, your private property, which is your body. So yeah, it's been a journey, but they say I was watching. Okay, that Truth Tide TV. If you have a smart TV, you can go and download the app. The app Truth Tide TV used to be Burrow on the smart TV, but they changed the name to Truth Tide. And that documentary Gene Decode with them children, that the COVID testing site was really an extraction site for the children. So you had the 40. That video was 5 minutes and some change, but the whole documentary is 40 minutes. And they actually physically show you the tunnels under Central Park. Because if you're from New York City, Central Park, that's native burial ground, just like the Sioux. It's native burial ground. And there are tunnels under there and caves.
Oh, yeah.
But the 40-minute documentary, and in it talks about that the 4 to 6% of children, but then that 4 to 6% ties to that Q drop, the 4 to 6% lost forever. So they were telling you from that, what I decoded was it applies to, because Q drops apply to more than one thing, but the 4 to 6% is the sheep. But no, because it wouldn't be 4 to 6%. It's millions and millions of people here. That number percentage, it doesn't. The 4%, 4 to 6% lost forever. They were talking about were those children. They were talking about those children.
Mm,
Well, look, I'm gonna have to shut it down.
yeah.
Okay.
I got a couple of things. Medication I gotta take, and I got insulin.
Right.
I gotta do.
But this is so reminiscent of 2021.
Oh,
You know, I
Nice
love you
reminder.
both.
Yeah,
I love and appreciate you both.
we didn't get a chance to read Michael Baxter in there, but
Oh, okay. No, we do that. We do that tomorrow, and
we'll
we
come
can
back and do
stream.
that tomorrow.
We
Yeah.
can stream the other part of that documentary. Was fire.
Yeah. We got to do that. And
Right.
we ran out of time today because I would love to do it.
Uh-huh.
All right, folks.
All right, guys. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Appreciate you, John. Nice
You
seeing
too,
you,
Tamina.
Joe.
Let me change it.
All right.
Big
Have a
Joe.
good night.
All right, folks. Appreciate you. Thank you, JV. Miss Amina, we'll come back and do it. We'll try to do it tomorrow. We don't want to do it for Thanksgiving. We'll play the second half of that video, which will probably be Friday. I'm not even going to fool myself. It'll probably be Friday. That's when it gets dead and we're all looking for something to do. But other than that, hey, appreciate y'all checking. Hopefully this video will stay up. You know, they've been flagging us and all this. I pray that video's still there. We got some more receipts. Some of them I couldn't find, but I will find them with videos I want to post. I'll see you guys on the next one. All right? Y'all take it easy. All right?